The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
Hey, kids!
You ever been to the circus?
Oh, when I was a kid.
Did you like it?
Well, you know, it was fun. I was kind of scared of the clowns.
Are you still scared of clowns?
Yeah.
Clown, Peter. What's the matter, kid? Don't you like clowns? Why? Don't we make you laugh?
Good night, kids. And don't forget, Krusty loves you.
It's showtime.
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Ass Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
Get the hell out of here. I haven't heard this song in years.
It's been a while for me, too. Went to this concert. They put on, that's the one and only time I've ever seen Kiss on their Psycho Circus tour. That was a heck of a tour, or a heck of a show.
Yeah, they pulled out all the stops for the Psycho Circus tour.
Where was that, Target Center?
Yeah, Christ almighty, that was 5 years ago.
I can't believe you guys are getting old, man.
Oh, wow, Psycho Circus. Makeup running down my face. We've been exiled from the human race. Sing it, Cubby.
Psycho Circus. Psycho Circus.
Psycho Circus.
I think they even never allowed to get a microphone in any band I've ever been in for whatever reason.
That's great. What are we doing here? You're playing Kiss. They wear clown makeup. You played some clown audio. Are we just preparing for tomorrow, or is today National Clown Appreciation Day?
We're preparing for tomorrow.
Sure.
You see, you got a plan to start the show with something, and then you have a guest bail on you, so you got to pivot. And so now we're just promoting our appearance tomorrow at the State Fair, where Ashley has agreed to allow herself to be painted up like a clown.
It's that's happening.
Would you say that is your greatest fear, clowns?
Yeah, hands down.
10 to noon tomorrow. You will be facing, literally and figuratively, your greatest fear.
I'm proud of you, honestly.
I'm nervous. Every time I think about it, my chest gets a little tight.
Oh, gosh.
I keep trying to just push it to the back of my head.
You're not going to stroke out on us, are you?
No.
It absolutely sucked when I tried to face my fear on the air.
You tried to face your ultimate fear on the air.
Cake farts.
Yes, you got it.
You have to give us a little more inflammation.
I was on a scissor lift, and I was like 4 or 5 stories up, taking lights down from the OGBYN in Wyzetta.
The OGBYN. All right.
Yeah, like this.
You have a fear of heights.
Yeah.
You have a fear of heights. I don't know why we had to get into gynecology there, but yes, you have a fear of heights.
Well, that's why I was doing it.
I know, I'm joking with you. Yeah, I remember that. We this was working with Wappel, a bit that had all the potential in the world, and then it died a savage death. We threw you up on a scissor lift to try to crush your fear of heights, and maybe did it only make it worse?
Oh, it made it way worse.
Yeah, that's too bad.
No, that's hopeful.
I was sitting up there, and my knees were literally shaking into each other, just knocking.
Oh.
And then we get off air, and these guys are like, all right, dude, you can quit the bit out. You know, we actually have to get to work and get these lights down. And I'm like, this is not a bit. I am shaking this thing because I'm so scared.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned not a bit, because Ashley's thing is not a bit. We thought she was exaggerating when she had said she was afraid of clowns, and we had some in here to mess with her, and she was in tears. And then we all felt completely awful to this day. And hopefully, this is going to change things for you, Ashley.
That was 5 years ago, believe it or not. Yeah, that was for my birthday, too.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
There she is crying in the corner.
Yeah.
A lot of people do think it's a bit, because a lot of people say that, oh, yeah, I'm afraid of clowns, until they see me with a clown, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah. She's not lying.
Yeah, you are not lying.
And, no guarantees, but we're hoping to have some other clown guests show up and add to the tension and the horror of the whole situation for you. So that'll be tomorrow at 10 a.m. at the fair, starting at 10. If you have the option of swinging by, we'd love to see you, and you can watch this disaster unfold.
Hopefully, like, the joy that I get from just being at the Minnesota State Fair, like, takes some of the fear away. Because it's one of my favorite places to be in the world. So.
Right.
I think it's going to help.
Yeah.
I think maybe you won't be cured, but it's going to help.
After I'm done crying, I can get a cheese on a stick. Everything will be good.
There'll be all kinds of, you'll have us there with you. Be very different than if you were all alone and suddenly.
We lock her in a shed with the clowns and the face paint on and mirrors everywhere.
Yeah, and it's daytime.
Oh, heck no.
I mean,
National Clown Day, by the way, it's always the first Saturday in August. So unfortunately, we didn't celebrate in time.
Facing your fears.
Proud of you, Ashley.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Interesting subject. Yeah, tomorrow you'll get your chance. I mean, anything could happen. And, I mean, hell, if you begin to cry and vomit or something, that's more fun for everybody else involved.
Yeah,
So
it's show material.
It is, absolutely.
Adam pisses me off. Jesus said he has an extreme fear of being taken advantage of by a clown in a state fair bathroom, and he thinks he should face his fears tomorrow as well. Can you make that happen, Ash?
I'll see if there's any reservations open.
There you go. Oh, what else is going on around here? It's a Thursday. Welcome to the Half-Ass Morning Show. The final for the month of August. Man, Cubby, I got to pay the bills.
Oh, gosh.
I thought you just did that last month. You're good, man. You're good.
Yeah, I did. The last day of August.
That went by fast.
Yeah.
How was your son's first day of school, Josh?
Oh, that's very kind of you to ask. He's doing just fine.
Good.
His first, we've never lived, he hasn't had a school yet where he could take a bus, right? We were always like a block away from being able to take the bus. So he's able to take it. And I remember loving the bus. And I don't know if the bus has changed, but he loved it.
Yeah,
there was a fight on day one.
Heck yeah.
So you got to see a fight in front of him.
That's always good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
The bus was the best. That's where you learn things that you may not have heard about before. That's where the fights happen. That's where the flirting happened. The bus was where it was at.
That's where we got drugs. I mean, no.
He rode the bus for the first time in his life. He enjoyed it.
Outside of, field trips. But first time we've had a school in the area where they'll allow them on the bus.
I'll tell you what, that's interesting. And yeah, the school bus we were dicks on the school bus. I mean, oh man, that was the most lawless spot known to grade schoolers. Of course, you get a little older, you find other places to F off, but in grade school, the bus was where we let it all hang out. We were pretty brutal, to be totally honest with you, because I don't know why, but our bus drivers never spoke up about any of our behavior ever. Nowadays, I don't think it would fly, but for whatever reason.
There's cameras now, right? That was different when we were kids.
I never even would have imagined cameras, but of course that makes sense these days.
We never had like a bus helper. And there's bus helpers now. You're another adult on the bus.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Good call.
I mean, we were out of control dicks on the bus.
Was your school the same? Like on the bus trip to school, it was pretty much silent. Everybody's exhausted. Nobody's excited to go. And on the way back, that's when it was more lawless.
No, it was lawless both ways. As soon as I got on that damn thing, it was screaming, taunting, starting trouble, insulting the bus driver, throwing stuff out the window, giving the finger to the driver behind. Oh, it was terrible.
Do you remember what time you started? Because
are we talking junior high?
We're whatever bus you're talking about.
Actually, junior high, we started to behave a little bit better. Because you suddenly thought, well, I'm grown up now. I don't have to hang out the window of the bus to be cool. I'm a 7th grader now. So I'll stick with grade school because that's when we were just animals. What time did we start? I think school started when I was a grade schooler. School started at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Ours started at 9.
No, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Was it 9? So we started at 7:40.
Oh, wow.
So some kids were getting on the bus before 7.
In grade school?
Yeah.
You guys are sleepy.
Sun's not even out yet.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
I'm assuming maybe that's why we were a little more dead than you guys.
Well, in junior high and high school, junior high, yeah. Absolutely, the ride to school was silent, but not in grade school. There was too much hell to be raised because I remember thinking, okay, I've got 15 minutes to do as much damage as I possibly can. You know what I mean? And I was just saying a minute ago, I don't know why our bus drivers never said anything. Well, I'm thinking back, we had the same bus driver, dude, pretty much from kindergarten all the way through 6th grade. Sure, there were times where he would have a day off or go on vacation and we'd get a rando, but we had the same dude. I've told you about him before, Josh, Licehead. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just an example of just how brutal we were. The dude had kind of greasy black hair, and yeah, there was cargo up there, and it was white. I don't know.
Dandruff.
Outside of my father, the person who was in the worst mood every day that I would see would be the bus driver. And understandably so, looking back as an adult.
Yeah.
This guy was like the Bud Grant of bus driving. He never showed any emotion at all. He never smiled. He never frowned. And I mean, again, he had a greasy head of hair. And he had dandruff, like Ashley just said. But, of course, when you're in 3rd grade, that's lice, right? And so we were just relentless. We're just like 8 of us in the back of the bus. Licehead! Licehead! We taunted him all morning long, and he never said anything.
Man.
If my parents would have known, they would have choked me to death on the bus as an example to the other children.
I'm glad this particular game has passed on to the younger generations. Millennial Steel Cutter Jesus said they used to play the penis game on the bus. We did the same thing.
Yeah, same here.
Somebody starts it quietly, and then if it just gets louder and louder and louder, the penis chant.
We used to play that in the mall, too.
What?
Yeah.
We did it in the lunchroom.
Yeah,
we also did it.
Lunchroom was a great place, too.
We would do it in elevators at businesses and whatnot, too.
Are you guys trying to set me up for something here?
No.
This is a legit thing.
No, you would just start and someone would be like, penis.
Penis.
And someone, yep.
Yeah, and then eventually people are screaming
you have to
penis.
Keep going louder and louder. Yeah.
Then until you tap out. Whoever doesn't tap out wins.
I feel like I'm being messed with.
I promise you're not. I know it's so lame.
This isn't from a movie or something? Or
maybe it started in
the movie.
So each of you, Josh is almost 50 years old. We got a 38-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 25-year-old. Each of you have this same shared experience from school, some kind of penis shouting contest?
Yeah.
Again, it has to start basically at a whisper, and then it grows.
That's fascinating.
We do it
then the penis grows.
At high school sporting events, too, we would do it. We were in the stands.
Never heard of it.
How long were your guys' bus rides in junior and high school?
Well, I mean, like I said, at grade school, it's probably 15 minutes. Probably the same in junior high, 15 minutes.
I didn't take one in high school because I was lucky my brother was an upperclassman and could drive, but I think the longest, it's always been like 15, 20 minutes.
I mean, it depends on where you're at. I know some bitches that grew up in the boonies who were sitting on the bus for 40 effing minutes.
I was going to say.
Oh, yeah, we were about that.
I was 1 hour.
Oh, my God.
Because I was in Lino and we had to get to Forest Lake.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, if you're one of the first people on or last off,
exactly,
then you're going to all those other stops.
Yeah, I mean, you had to go around Lino Lakes and everywhere, and then, it was still 20 minutes to get to school from there.
Jeez, you might as well pack dinner at that point.
So, like the activity bus, you'd be back home at like 7:30, 8 o'clock.
We used to, on the way back, because we were the first on, last off. And so on the way home, we would be dropped off we'd get off the bus about a mile away because it was quicker to walk than it would be just to take the bus all the way home.
What is the activity bus?
When you would do like after school sports or activities, then you would take that bus because it's later.
Yeah. Or if you had detention or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
The activity bus.
Otherwise known as the late bus.
Yep.
I wonder why you guys had the title of activity bus.
That's just what it always was called.
That's what it was called.
That makes it sound so much more positive and productive, doesn't it? As opposed to, I'm going to take the late bus because I have detention again. So there was a fight on your kid's school bus yesterday,
Yeah,
Josh?
day one. That didn't take too long.
Was it a good one?
Was he involved?
No, he wasn't involved, but he was a couple seats behind. But, it was like in the movies, everyone's chanting, fight, fight, fight,
No way.
fight.
I hope that kid had the mentality of like he's seen a couple movies and knows the whole prison thing. Kick someone's ass on the first day just to establish, your place on the bus.
Well, it sounds like this courageous individual was the largest guy on the bus, and he picked on the smallest guy on the bus. So it's a little bit the opposite.
That kid sucks then.
Yeah.
School hasn't changed much then, has it?
Apparently not.
I'm not going to let this slide by. Your son's first day of school, and he was towards the back of the bus. Riding the bus. First day riding the bus, and he was towards the back.
Oh, yeah,
the back of the bus where the cool kids hang out.
The fight was in the front. He was towards the back.
Oh, I just said he was a couple seats behind, didn't I? Maybe I don't remember now. I don't know where he was sitting. He just said he was a couple seats behind the fight.
Oh, that does matter.
Penis.
You should ask him where he sat on the bus. Figure out if your kid's cool or not.
But what if he says that's none of your business, and then my feelings are hurt the rest of the day?
I got my feelings hurt by a group of kids on the school bus last spring. I was at a stoplight, and there's a bus, and they're looking down at me in the window, and they're like waving at me and smiling. I'm like, oh, look at these kids, they're being nice. So I wave back all enthusiastically, hey kids, what's going on? And then they immediately do the dab and start laughing at me.
That's a good bit.
It was.
Is that disrespectful to dab someone?
It's kind of a taunt. A little bit, so yeah. And they clearly are like, oh yeah, we got that guy.
Oh, man.
Did any of the rest of you ever get on a fight? How do you say this? Did any of the rest of you ever get in a fight on a school bus?
No.
I've never been in a fight.
I've never even seen one on a school bus. On the playground, it seemed daily up until maybe 7th or 8th grade.
At the playground. Remember that song, Another Bad Creation, at the playground?
Yeah.
I got stomped so hard in grade school on the bus by a girl. It was, that situation where when you're a kid, when you are in a great deal of pain, but yet you don't want to show how much pain you're in.
Yeah, of course.
Was this the girl that got you in the nards, or is that different?
it was on the top of my thigh.
Ooh, ouch.
I was being an antagonistic prick on the school bus, 4th grade, 5th grade, and I pissed off this gal, one of my fellow classmates, and she walked up to me. Of course, I'm sitting there with my buddies, and as she's approaching, we all, ooh, here she comes, right? We're being disrespectful up to the very last second.
Oh, I'd deck you.
Well, she did. She stomped my thigh. I thought I was going to get maybe slapped in the face, punched in the top of the head. She stomped my thigh, and that was the most pain I had ever been in up to that point in my life. But like I was just describing, oh man, I was holding it in. Holding it in. Maybe try to crack a smile. I must have gone beet red. My buddies never called me out on it, but ooh-wee, was that, you were talking about the length of the bus ride? That was about the longest 10, 12 minutes of my life to get off that bus so I could finally go, ah! I mean, she got me right on the thigh muscle, Cubby.
Medical Device Jesus said he usually got his ass kicked on the bus, but then he grew quote, 14 inches one summer, showed up ready to avenge, and then it became a 4-on-1 ass beating. Not cool.
Oh, man,
he still got his ass
cool.
beat. By the way, this is nice. I appreciate the support in the brother and sisterhood. You mentioned Wappel. You've never been in a fight. There's a few people that are saying, hey, I'll volunteer to kick his ass.
Oh, nice.
So you can say you've been in a fight.
Yeah.
You've really never been in a fight.
Never been in a fight.
Man. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, not that you're fightable, just it seems like everybody's been. Actually, you've probably been in a fight, haven't you?
No, I haven't. I've fought with my brothers before, but no, I've never been in a fight.
That's shocking.
That's also surprising.
Never thrown
Dana?
fists.
No, never really been in a fight. Broken up a bunch of fights, but never really been in one. Although there was one time, it was like the first time I was ever at a boy-girl party in middle school. It was a girl's birthday. Her name's Vanessa, and I apologize right now on the air if you're listening, Vanessa, but we were kind of horsing around, kind of play fighting, and then I slipped and I was on the ground. She was pulling my hair really hard, and just out of instinct, I just thrust my hand out to try to get her to let go, and I hit her right in the crotch. And she dropped.
Oh, no.
On her birthday. I got her, the pelvic bone. I got her square in the pelvic bone, and she just dropped like a ton of bricks.
Punch a girl in her vagina.
At her birthday party.
So really, honestly, if ever we're drinking beer and sharing fight stories, all you can add is that once you accidentally punched a girl still in the vag.
Dude, that's awesome.
That is
Dana. Don't
that's
tell
perfectly
this.
you.
Don't tell this at a roadhouse or anything. Yeah, this is probably the only place you can tell that story, and we're going to let it go.
She went down. It was won the fight easy.
She wasn't talking trash anymore, was she? Punched her right in the vagina.
A girl trying to flirt with me, and I crack her right in the pelvic bone.
I would absolutely love to hear her side of the story. What the story she tells. And then he punched me in the vagina.
At her damn birthday party.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday.
First day of school yesterday, huh, Josh?
Yeah, day one.
That's exciting.
It's difficult. I mean, they got to go again today, and then they have Friday and Monday off, and then they go again. The days off I've noticed the last few years. Well, I shouldn't say few because, pandemic, I'm not counting that, but just it's a lot different than it used to be.
Maybe it's nice to do it that way because you kind of like ease the kids back into it instead of just doing 5 days right away.
Well, I can tell you it's nice for them, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I would absolutely hate it with the state fair going on.
Yeah, personally, I don't. I'm with Wappel. I don't think it's right to start school until the state fair is over.
Well,
with.
this is the first year that I'm aware they've done. I mean, none of my kids started before
it's not
Labor
right.
Day until this year. It is kind of weird.
It's a damn shame. Someone says that kind of punch that you threw, Dana, is called the Falcon Punch.
Yeah, I've seen that. I'm looking it up right now.
Does anyone know the background on that?
I haven't heard that before either.
How is it that this penis joke didn't spread to my neighborhood?
Well, you live in a fancy area. You guys are too mature for that.
You saw the house I grew up in.
Yeah,
that is
it's
a
very
fancy. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we played a lot of stupid games. We played like quarters and stuff at lunch where you would fling the quarter at the other person's knuckles.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Bloody knuckles, we called those.
Yeah.
We used to play a lot of the flick football where you make the little triangle out of paper. We play a lot of that.
And then another stupid one that we played was called Highest Point.
Oh, God, Highest Point.
And we would take a can, and someone would start off and they would, hey-ya! And karate chop the can. And then the next person would take the can, and then they would have to, hey-ya! Karate chop the highest point of that can.
So basically karate chop and just jagged edges.
Yeah, you're hurting your hand.
Yeah.
It's all about hurting yourself in middle school, high school, I guess.
And we were talking yesterday about dumb things guys would do to impress girls. We thought chicks would think that was really cool that we were
it was so cool when guys did that. Yeah, I loved it. I totally didn't get up and sit at a different table.
When we were talking about that, I forgot about a time that I did that. I tried to impress people. It wasn't just girls and people, and it went sideways for me. There was, after school, we used to bike to this McDonald's, and this was in high school, next to our high school. That's where everybody went to hang out.
Right.
We'd go there. The Richfield high school kids would go there. Sometimes there's fights, that kind of thing. It was fun. And so when we bike, I would always do a 180 and back my bike up and then just kind of lay it down wherever. I would do, and it was in front of this big window where everybody would hang out.
Backing up a bicycle?
Yeah, so I would just kind of whip a 180 and just kind of back up and well, at the time I thought a cool guy, all right?
That sounds pretty sweet, actually.
And I thought it was back then. And so, and every day I did this. Well, they had recently paved the lot. And I didn't really think too much about it. And I tried to do a 180, ended up doing more like of a flipping 360. Skinned the hell out of everything below my waist, my elbow, the side of my face. I mean, I've never biffed so hard. And I've been in car crashes and motorcycle crashes. Never biffed so hard in front of everybody. 2 whole schools watched this happen.
I'm so sorry, Josh. Oh, that pains me for you.
Well, then they're at a moment where I'm like, do I go in or do I just go home?
What do you do?
I went in. I thought, I'm just going to face this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to get a nickname. I'm never going to live this down. So I just went in and then we just put ketchup on pickles and threw it at the ceiling.
Well, there you go. Good times. Thinking back to those days on the school bus and such. Yeah, I'll tell you again. If I had a kid who acted the way I did on the school bus, you'd probably never see him again. Probably pull him out of school and say, you don't deserve this opportunity. But, we were young and you had to get that energy spent up before school started, Not that we were well behaved once school started, but we certainly got it out of our system to a certain extent.
Sure.
You following what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I got to learn more. Maybe we can hang out some more in the future. You guys, we could play this karate chop game, the penis game.
Penis game's fun.
What was the other one you said? The
Paper football.
Bloody
Knuckles.
we played the hell out of that style of football. Bloody knuckles. What were you saying, with a quarter?
Yeah. You would take a quarter and you'd fling it across the table, and the person would like make a fist and they would put it down on top of the table. So that's your target. So you would shoot the quarter at their knuckles.
What damage does a quarter do to your knuckles?
It does not feel good.
It is, once you keep doing it and you keep hitting the same spot, it just makes a gash.
Oh, give me a break. It does not.
Oh, it totally
Didn't
does.
you guys ever play like the real bloody?
Yeah.
Played that too.
I guess, I would imagine, Josh, you could throw a quarter at my fist all day long over here. It wouldn't bother me. I'm not following how that is.
Oh, you would be hurting.
Well, Wappel, he's got an imprint of George Washington on his middle knuckle.
Yeah, we'll cover more of this maybe later, try to figure you folks out. All right, we got to take a break. We're just getting started. Thanks for tuning in to the Half-Assed Morning Show.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey Minnesota, CJ Ham here. Huddle up for a second. You need someone to go the extra yard when your furnace or AC is out? Give the ball to the certified pros at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They've been at it for 90 years. Ready? Break.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
You loved Lala Kent on Vanderpump Rules. Now get to know her on Give Them Lala.
Is it weird having a million things to talk about and the only thing he wanted to talk about is Bravo?
Yes, and it's always weird. It's like when I went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner and thought that this was my chance to make a change, and they were like, well, enough about change. Scandal. And then I have so many questions for Howie that had nothing to do, and he was like, so scandal.
Give Them Lala, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, man. Now we're going to fire this deal up. Talking about a real tricky medical issue. We got a guy for that, don't we, Josh, by the name of Dr. P. Jesus?
Yeah, he likes to join us from time to time.
Exclusively right here on the Half-Assed Morning Show every couple of weeks. Maybe next week we'll get another visit from Dr. James Parnell, otherwise known as Dr. P. Jesus. Here's this tricky medical issue I was telling you about. A 64-year-old lady in Australia. She kept making trips to her neighborhood hospital. She had a few things going on. By damn, she did. Pneumonia. Her stomach hurt.
Oh, that's the worst.
Diarrhea.
Oh.
She had a dry cough. She had a fever. She had the night sweats. And she even had some mental issues, by God, depression and forgetfulness. Oh, Josh, it just hit me. That could be our superhero duo name. You could step forward and say, I'm depression, and I would say, and I'm forgetfulness. we have those traits. You always think that something bad's happening. You always think everyone hates you. I can't remember jack squat that happened to us. We are depression and forgetfulness.
Yeah, and I'm so embarrassed of my penis. The D on my chest would have to be a small one. It's not even capitalized. It's not capitalized. That hits so close to home. That is so perfect.
Man. Where's Batman? Nah, he's busy. Spider-Man? Out of town. All right. Called depression and forgetfulness.
I'm just there waiting for Nick. He completely forgot that when the alarm goes off, he's supposed to show up at a crime. And then what the hell is that alarm for?
And then that's causing even more anxiety and depression. Does he hate me? Is he not coming because he hates me?
Oh, no, he's mad at me.
Right.
God darn it, he's pissed.
Scene 1 of the movie, I'm sitting in my house saying, was I supposed to be somewhere? Swear to God, I was supposed to be somewhere. All right. This lady was in real trouble.
We never solve any crime.
No.
Nobody ever is
Everybody
helped.
gets away.
You know, so this lady, she's sick. Doctors kept giving her this and giving her that, trying to straighten things out. Nothing helped. And that's when they decided to take a closer look. And they found a worm living in her brain.
Brainworm. That's not where you want that to
That's
be.
what they found. They found a worm on her brain, wiggling around on her brain like it owned it, like it owned the place. It was so effed up. This is cute. The doctor who found this gal's brain worm, he admitted this. He made a quick phone call to one of his buddies and said, "You're not going to believe what I just found on this lady's brain." You know what I'm saying?
I could see the temptation.
Yeah.
It makes me nauseous.
It was alive. It was a 3-inch long, bright red, parasitic roundworm.
It makes it so much worse that it was bright red.
Sounds like something you could catch some walleyes with, though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, 3 inches, yeah.
This is the type of worm that's usually found in snakes, not people. The little bastard roundworm is usually found in carpet pythons, and there may be some more carpet python information headed your way in the stupid news. Just a little teaser there. So this is the first time this worm has ever been discovered inside a human being. And I'm sure the lady was really excited to find that out, right?
Oh, gosh, it's so gross. I don't know why I looked up pictures of worms. I just made it worse for myself.
Did you see the brain worm, though?
Yeah, I did. It's awful. I don't like this.
Well, I don't know if many people would be too excited about it. Doctors aren't sure how a worm that normally tees off on snakes got up into this lady's brain. She said she didn't have any direct contact with snakes, but she lives near a lake that's crawling with them.
Oh, okay.
Remember, this is Australia. It's possible that the worm's eggs might have been on some edible grass.
So
known as, there's an edible grass in Australia called New Zealand spinach that the woman had collected for cooking recently. Hey, who's hungry? I'm about to go out into the yard and mow up dinner.
Yeah, this is her fault.
They eat the grass, Cubby, like cows.
Have you heard of wheatgrass?
I have heard it said aloud.
So we, at a restaurant I worked at, sold the balls out of that. People would drink it, for supposed health benefits. I don't know what it does, but it was a long list of things they said that this was good for.
They'd blend it up and put it in a drink?
In a shot.
Yeah,
you do a shot of it.
Okay, I know what you're talking
like
about.
a little ramekin of it, basically. We'd sell these little plastic ramekins of it. It was like $10. It was crazy expensive, and people would get them all the time. And it smelled exactly like you just mowed the lawn.
It is literally grass?
Yeah, it was called wheatgrass. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and it looked like grass. We just put it in this grinder thing. And
This New Zealand spinach kind of looks like lettuce. Not really grass.
You look like lettuce.
Cool.
You look like a head of lettuce with a beard and a ball cap and a hoodie and some little skateboard shoes.
No, I got hey dudes.
Hey dudes.
Hey dudes.
I did.
This poor gal is now doing better. Apparently, doctors forced this worm out of her skull. I don't know how. If they smoked it out or I don't know what they did to get the worm out of her noggin, but they did, and she's doing better. But Jesus Christ, she was in tough shape there for a while.
I would never feel the same way again.
What do you mean?
I would just constantly feel like there's something in me.
So big worm?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wappel, can you isolate what Ashley said there?
Totally.
It's a big worm? Big perm? I mean, worms. Big. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. Remember when Smokey's counting out Big Worm's money, but he really only has a 20 in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Chris Tucker's birthday today.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, wow.
52.
I like him.
Playing with my money's like playing with my emotions. Smokey? Yeah, Ashley, I think if I had a live worm swimming around my brain, it would probably stay with me until the day that I died. Every headache that I got, every little sensation, I would think, it's back!
Imagine the nightmares.
Oh, you know who gave me nightmares and had worms, Nick?
Okay, one more time with the question is what?
he gave me nightmares and had worms.
Yes, I know the answer. He's talking about the boogeyman.
And he's coming to get you.
That's perfect.
Television wrestler, the boogeyman.
Ate worms.
He had worms, in his mouth. He would eat them.
Oh.
Okay. I don't know about you, dickheads, but I'd have a little trouble getting a good night's sleep. Okay, we just talked about how you have a worm on your brain for a stretch of time. You'd probably hang on to that. My damn, you'd never get over it. I'd have a little trouble getting a good night's sleep if I got caught up in something like this here, too. Let me fill you in on what happened to a 68-year-old dude in Thailand. His name is Sarah Youth. A few days ago, he woke up from a nap at home because he felt a sharp pain around his ankle. And when he looked, he saw a huge python wrapped smooth around his leg, from his foot to his knee. And also, the snake was biting into his leg. It was beginning the process of eating him.
I would just assume that I was dreaming. It would take me so long to be like, okay, what's happening?
Yeah, I think it would probably take a couple of seconds to register this.
Yeah.
The snake was something called a reticulated python. Oh, I thought it was going to be the same python as we had in the prior story, the carpet python. This is a different one. This is a reticulated python, which is one of the world's largest snakes.
Oh, yeah, these suckers are big.
And it says here it spends most of its time eating humans, house pets, and other snakes. It eats folks.
Like whole humans?
Yeah, swallows them smooth up.
No.
It does. Sarah Youth cried out for help, but there was nobody around. He tried to wrestle himself free, but that only caused the snake to squeeze tighter. He thought for sure at least his leg was going to come off, and even worse, that the snake was going to kill him dead. He only had one move, I guess, left, and that was he bit the sumbitch.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
He bit into the snake. He said, I felt like I was going to die while fighting the python. This dude now, Josh, can say that he fought a python.
That is cool.
That's cool.
Everyone else
I don't know that I'd want to go through it, but that would be a great story.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else's bar stories in that neighborhood just turned into garbage. The bite he laid out on the snake's body caused the snake to loosen its grip, and dude was able to reach down and grab the snake by the head. He drugged the bastard outside the house, and he was able to get some fellas from the neighborhood to help him haul the snake to the police station and file a report. This effing snake was massive. It looked to be about, I don't know, like 25 feet long?
At least.
And thick, too.
Yeah, I was a big bastard.
Fat.
Yesterday, I found a big snake skin in my yard yesterday.
Mm.
Snake had shed its skin.
Have you guys
I'm going to bring it in.
Have you guys seen those images of like these pythons eating alligators and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've seen wacky things like that. It'll eat a whole pig and this and that.
Insane.
The coolest is the video of them eating deer.
I've watched one of those. It's crazy. These snakes, these pythons, we should do something about getting rid of them. They're ridiculous.
Well, and it's like you could still see like the alligator's legs in its body and stuff.
Yes, you can see the outline of the... And that's why I bet this friggin' snake that attacked Sarah Youth, that's why it was so fat. It probably had a belly full of Pomeranians or something, you know what I mean?
Have you guys, I'm sure, have seen it where the snake, you can see whatever its prey is still moving
Yeah.
in the
moving,
snake.
yep.
That's so creepy. Hulk Hogan, 24-inch pythons, is that where he was at?
That's what we like to claim, yeah.
24-inch, that's impressive.
I once saw a video of a snake. It swallowed a human being, and like Josh was describing, you can see the movement of its victim inside. You can see that the dude was trying to dial his cell phone.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, dude.
And then there was no movement. I'm kidding. That never happened. Jesus Christ. Who would put that on video?
That's
I could see that on that World Star Hip Hop or whatever. Yeah, I could see that.
You saw
World
the dude,
Star.
he slowly reached up and he was poking, numbers into his set, and then he slowly brings it up to his ear, but then he died right there. Very dramatic.
Once an alligator ate my alarm clock and it kept going off. Oh, wait, that's Peter Pan.
I got it, Walt.
I don't have any idea what. Sarah Youth, he says he thinks the snake came into his house to try and eat the chickens he keeps in the back of his room. He's got chickens in his room. These snakes are very stealth. It says here they can work their way around people as we sleep without disturbing us until it's gotten a strong hold on your ass. You know, they're smart. They know, oh, he's sleeping. I'll be as quiet as, oh, I got you now, you son of a bitch, kind of a thing. Another one here, a 75-year-old woman, also in Thailand, slept through a snake wrapping her up. And she got lucky, too. Her son was in the next room, and he helped pry the snake off of his naked 75-year-old mother. I'm kidding. I don't know if she was naked. I just wanted to add to the horror. She might have had some clothes on.
The crazy thing about the first guy is that he just like grabbed the snake by the head and then continued to like drag it outside of his house. I think if I got away from a snake that was attacking me, I would just let it own my house. I would never try to get it out of there.
Well, you know, it depends on your upbringing. This guy, you know, I doubt it's the first time he's seen a massive, dangerous python in town.
True,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One of these, if one of those rolled into the studio right now, yeah, I'd drop dead of a heart attack. There's a morning show in Thailand right now whose special guest right now is a python. You know what I mean?
I'm with you, though, Ashley. I would certainly toss the snake my keys and give him the Wi-Fi password and stuff like that. This place is yours now.
Yep, have it.
Transit mechanic Jesus wants to know if the shedded snakeskin I saw in my yard was actually just a used condom. I don't know.
Little baby snake.
I'll have to take a look.
The top morning show in Thailand probably rides a python to their state fair. You know what I mean? Instead of getting into a dumpy radio station vehicle like we will tomorrow, they just get on a python and it takes them to the fair. God help us, no.
Uh-oh.
No, God and baby Jesus help us. Well, actually, forget all that God stuff. I'm going to go ahead and say there is no God. Because if there was, he or she wouldn't allow this to happen. A guy in England had to go to court because he had non-consensual sex with a cow. And don't be texting me any jokes about your wives. You dirty pricks. Guy had to go to court in England because he had sex with a cow. And you know what? Again, Josh loves a good pun. But I think even Josh, you would agree that puns are inappropriate for a story like this. Yet the author of this story wants to be cute about this and dump puns on us. A guy forced himself on a cow, and the story says things like, cowabunga.
No.
I did put together a list of cow jokes.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, cow jokes. Look.
Cow jokes?
Yeah, I put cow jokes.
You've got a whole page full of cow jokes.
Yeah, I'll just set it aside.
No, tell us one of them.
No. It does seem inappropriate.
Tell us one of them.
Where do cows eat lunch?
At the Municipal Legion, the municipal.
The cafeteria?
The cafeteria.
How do you count cows? Calculator. How do you make a cow be quiet? You press the moot button? Okay, that was stupid. Where do cows get all their medicine?
From the pharmacy.
Yep, the pharmacy. What do you call it when one cow spies on another cow?
That would be invasion of movacy.
A stakeout.
Oh, a stakeout.
How do dairy farmers do their taxes?
They move into an office with an accountant.
They go to an accountant, yes.
Oh, an accountant.
Close.
What do you get if you cross a cow and a rooster? Roost beef? What did the mama cow say to the baby cow? It's past your bedtime.
Pasture.
That's all I got. Oh, I do have more. I do have more, but I think I'm going to stop there. I think I'm going to stop right there.
Thank you for that. I needed that.
Yeah, I thought you did a good job. Here's the deal. A 25-year-old kid in Britain, the UK, whatever it's called, this effing maniac named Liam Brown, he pled guilty this week to sexual penetration with a living animal.
You're a cow humper the rest of your life.
Yeah. That's not one you can shake.
No.
He was also charged with causing unnecessary suffering to a protected animal.
Imagine trying to get a job after this.
Right. Imagine having that on your record. Or even personally knowing someone with something like that on their record. That's repulsive.
If you're applying for a job and it comes down to one guy who's humped a cow and one person who hasn't humped a cow, you're going to go with the non-cow humper.
Probably, yeah.
Unless you have a cow humping business, you're right.
There was an incident last summer. This brown guy was caught in the act of going bareback with a young calf on a farm. Now, this is interesting. Apparently, this sick bastard fell for a trap. Some booby traps were set up by the farmers who run this dairy farm. They suspected for a while that their cows were being abused, so they installed a bunch of alarms and surveillance cameras to catch whoever was messing with their livestock in the dead of the night. And eventually, this brown dude crept onto the property and triggered the system, and he was caught on video. And the farmers say they know this guy. They've known him since he was a kid.
No.
They probably even knew back then that there was something off with this dude, even back when he was a kid.
Oh, yeah, here's the weirdo in town.
I've picked that out a couple times in my life. I don't know if I've ever bragged about that on the radio, but there's been three kids that I've met when they were real little, and I've said, there's something wrong with this one. And then I've been right. I'm batting 1,000 on that.
Nice.
You know where you can read this story?
In the... Go ahead.
Moose paper.
Reminds me of Laffy Taffy jokes.
There's a lot of good text coming in on cow jokes. What do you call What do you call a cow with two legs? Lean beef. What do you call a cow with no legs?
Ground beef.
Ground beef.
So prosecutors were able to prove that it was this brown guy banging the cows. Okay, so not only did they have video of him doing this, but they were able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this was this brown guy because he had fired money shots all up and down the barn.
Cool.
How do you get there?
Don't know.
Do you start there? Do you work your way up?
I think you work your way up.
I have no idea.
He had so much sex, it's become boring to him?
I would doubt that.
Does he just have a thing for cows?
I'm very unsure about the motivation or how you get there, but I can almost guarantee it's not because he's getting too much ass.
Now, I'm not a farm investigator, Ashley, but to answer your question, this guy who has repeatedly had sex with cows, yes, he has a thing for cows.
Apparently,
Poor cow. Poor farmers. Oof.
In court, this brown dude was, according to the story, crying his eyes out. Well,
good. I hope that's all he does for the rest of his life.
Take your medicine, son.
Traumatizing cows and stuff. Psychopath.
Sorry, a text got me. What do you call a cow with two legs? Your mom. That was mean.
What the?
Uncalled for.
All right, on a completely different subject. Sounds like we got to go all the way to Utah if we want to get our hands on those discount hooker coupons. A legal brothel in Nevada has gone ahead and announced that for the rest of the year 2023, folks with an ID from Utah get a crack at a 10% discount on, quote, all sensual services provided by the gals working at the brothel. Who needs a discount bump?
I think I'm good.
Doesn't that seem kind of weird?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
I have a coupon for the intercourse today.
Yeah, I feel like they give you a little bit less effort if you're going in with the 10% coupon.
Yeah, like where you put that coupon.
Yeah.
Here we go. Check out this cute alter ego here. Madam Bella Cummins. Clever, right? I'll tell you this, if one more naked internet lady or stripper calls herself Bella, I think my brain is going to fall out of my skull.
There are a lot of Bellas.
Please mix it up, will you? So this is the madam at this brothel. Madam Bella Cummins. Not Cummings, but Cummins. She's owned and operated this joint for 37 years. She says, Utah is our nation's most sexually repressed state. And I guess that's what's behind this generous offer to the folks in Utah. Her joint is about an hour drive from the Utah state line ski. This year, Utah set up a new law requiring age verification for all porn sites in the name of creating, quote, reasonable safeguards for our children. And as a result of the law, scorching hot porno has become more difficult for Utah residents to access online. Everyone walking around town with blue balls. That's not safe.
Maybe this is what leads to cow humping.
Yeah.
Not enough access to this kind of stuff.
I don't think that's safe. A grown man can't sit back and cut one loose to a Jenna Hayes movie? That doesn't sound like America to me. You got to get the poison out, right, Josh?
You have to get the poison. You'll make bad decisions if you don't.
I'll tell you the story about my buddy again. He likes to watch porno movies from, go ahead, Josh.
I don't know.
Tam to Tam.
I was thinking you were going to say prison. I thought it was this guy, maybe.
Married guy watches a porno movie from time to time on his internet setup. And one time his wife walked in while he was watching porno, and she said, "Is that what you want? I can't believe that you want to watch those ladies do the..." And it's...
Was it bad porn?
No. Oh. Regular porn. And, they're an older couple now. They're not pinballing back and forth like it's prom night anymore. They have sex here, they have sex there, but it's not a big regular thing, right? Normal. The guy watches a little porn now and again. She freaks out. And he says, "Look, we're not exactly setting, world records in the sex department. So look at it this way. It's either, he's like, I need a release. He said, look at it this way. It's either this or I kill somebody. You choose."
Can't really argue against that, can you?
I had mentioned before I had a buddy who had to sleep on the couch for 2 weeks because his wife caught him.
I could see if it was some messed up weird porn. I'd be like, what's going on here? Like if he was watching cow humping. But
she just didn't like the fact that he was masturbating. She's very religious.
For the love of Christ.
Religion, okay.
Just like you were saying, Nick, I mean, they were on quite a spell where nothing was going on. Not at all. And so, he took care of himself. He happened to do it on the couch. And she walked out of the bedroom, saw what was going on, and he had to sleep on that couch.
Grow up, for Christ's sake.
And then eventually he had to move in with me.
Oh, wow. Was that the start to the end?
I think that was, I think it was on its way there anyways. Sure. But that one didn't help.
The tipping point.
I had the girlfriend that started crying when she found out I watched porn.
That is so ridiculous. It just...
Yeah, you got to tell that story again.
Yeah, so I told her, I said, yeah. She's like, you watch porn? And she's like...
How did it come up? But let's start there.
I think I just made some offhanded comment like, oh, yeah, I saw this funny thing in a porn the other day or something like that. Just very offhand. She's like, what, you watch porno? And I go, yeah, of course. And she starts crying. She's tearing up. And and this girl was not like a conservative type of girl. Like, she did drugs. She partied, And she was just so blown away. And I'm like, and she's like, that's not, no. I'm like, every guy does it. And I yelled at my roommate. I'm like, hey, dude, how many guys watch porn? My buddy just immediately goes, every guy watches porn. And then it comes full circle. She goes, well, show me something you watch. So I pulled something up on my phone and she's like, she got really into it really quickly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, this sounds like you dated a schizophrenic or something.
Yeah, that's different.
It was a...
she went from crying to enthusiasm over porn?
Yes.
In a matter of minutes.
Was this the first time she's ever
Nick,
seen it herself?
You know what this sounds like? The setup to a porn.
That or a horror movie.
I guess I could see if she's never been exposed to it and always hearing negative things about it to be like, oh my gosh, what? And then... Yeah, you exposed it to her. She's like, oh, okay, not too bad.
To have
Good
that,
for her.
to have that kind of roller coaster of emotions would frighten me quite a bit.
That is pretty weird.
Yeah,
The entire relationship was a roller coaster.
You stayed with this woman?
Yeah, she was hot.
I mean, really, that would have worried me.
Wait, did you marry this woman?
No, this is not my wife.
All right.
Jesus. Well, anyway, the 10% discount on ass at one of the brothels there in Nevada is being offered to citizens of the state of Utah. So I guess gals at the ranch, brace yourselves. Hang on to something because the Blue Balls gang is riding in from Utah. This could be a rough one.
Dana, to your story, what did Do Jesus said? He normally cries after the porn, not before.
She had it flipped.
So did she start watching it on her own afterwards?
Yeah.
Really?
That
That's
is-
weird, man.
That's a frightening
Changed her
story.
life.
Yeah.
That is a frightening story. All right, what do I got time for? Oh, here's a victory for America right here. We don't get much good news like this anymore. Remember this? American chess grandmaster Hans Niemann.
Yeah.
That guy.
It was the butt plug guy, wasn't it?
He doesn't like that, Josh. Or your name is Wappel.
Oh, whoops.
Call him Hans Niemann. Everyone's calling him the butt plug guy. He doesn't like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that either.
American chess grandmaster Hans Niemann has been cleared of all claims that he cheated in a chess match last year by using vibrating anal beads. If you don't remember this scandal, a fellow world champion chess maker, or what do I call him? A chess player? Chess master? Chess player? Okay. A fellow world champion chess player. His name is Magnus Carlsen.
That's cool.
Magnus.
Sounds like a character out of Vikings or something.
He's a Norwegian, so they know how to start trouble. They do. At least it wasn't one of those big, stubborn Swedes. Magnus Carlsen. He claimed that our guy Niemann had cheated in a chess match. When Niemann beat Carlsen in something called the Sinfeld Cup chess tournament. Carlsen, the Norwegian, he's considered one of the best players in history. Sorry, I took too big a hit. He's considered one of the best chess players in history. He quit the tournament immediately. Right? He gets beat by Niemann, and he does the, I quit. A week later, he also refused to play Niemann in another tournament. And Carlsen, the Norwegian, and others involved in the chess world went ahead and claimed that Niemann only beat Carlsen and won a few other chess matches because he had a vibrating sex toy in his bottom and he would receive wireless signals from his coach about what moves to make. You know, it's the same way the Dallas Stars beat the Pigs in the playoffs last year.
True?
Yeah, that's the rumor I heard. All right, you follow all that? It's a hell of a story. Niemann, the American, filed a $100 million lawsuit against Carlsen, as well as the website chess.com and a couple other chess dorks. He's filing all these lawsuits. All of them were going along with this backyard vibrator theory. Niemann insisted he's never worn a butt vibrator, at least not while playing chess. He even said he'd play ass naked to prove his innocence.
No, that's okay.
Naked chess.
But now,
I'm with him, though. I don't want people thinking that way.
I'd be pissed.
I hate my body, and everyone who's seen it hates it as well.
that is absolutely not true.
I would play naked. Even I would play. I don't want to be the butt plug guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I feel bad. Richard Gere turned 74 today. And famously, he was known as somebody who put a gerbil up his butt.
Yep.
Which, of course, never happened.
No, but he got ripped on that. I mean, that was a running joke for decades.
Yeah.
That's all I really know about the guy.
Yeah, the gerbil guy, or whatever, hamster gerbil, I forget what it was.
Whatever, yeah, same thing. Hamster gerbil. This guy, really, honestly, is a great actor.
He's an awesome actor.
And from what I understand, he's a real nice, normal guy.
Yes.
Didn't you read a quote from him a few years ago where he said, you know, somehow, some way, I'm now the gerbil butt guy.
Yes.
And I have been for decades. And, I mean, he was being sarcastic about it. He doesn't seem to be overly angry about it. Or I think, give the guy credit, I think most of us would be pretty angry if we were the butt gerbil guy.
That's the thing. Like, you called this chess grandmaster the butt plug guy. He's going to be the butt plug guy the rest of his life.
Oh, for sure.
And he died. But now all this nonsense has been dropped, apparently. Folks are going to squash this and move on with their lives. Niemann and the Norwegian dude are going to play chess against each other, and oh boy, it's going to be fun. It's going to be just like the old days before stories of cheating by way of anal vibration sullied the good name of professional chess and this Neiman, Marcus Neiman, Hans Neiman, whatever the hell his name is.
This is how Shaver has won so many dad fights episodes. Tree Master Jesus said that Magnus is so good he purposely changes moves on set openings so the opponent has to think on their own instead of remembering the openings and moves. So I guess this Magnus guy is legit.
And I'm with you, Josh. I would do anything to clear my name of such a thing. And I would be pissed. I wouldn't be able to carry myself, I think, the way this Neiman guy did. I wouldn't be able to carry myself the way Richard Gere did or Rod Stewart or all these other celebrities who have these horrible, insane, false stories told about them.
It would take like the third person to ask me about it, and I would become uncorked.
Yeah.
I'd beat them to death.
I'd end up choking someone on the sidewalk, and the paparazzi would all be, see, he's an animal. He gets this way because he has a gerbil up his butt, you know?
You just make it worse.
They'd run with it.
I'm sure it's one of those things where someone say, hey, dude, somebody was saying that you put a vibrating butt plug in there and that's how you won. He'd be like, that's great. That's a rumor that's never going to take off. That's crazy. And then all of a sudden it's worldwide headlines.
Right. Who are some of the celebrities who've had positive rumors about them? Can't even think of any, can you? You know what I mean?
No, like something just seems ridiculous.
Yeah,
like
something that's almost...
there's a lot of big penis ones.
Yeah,
but
something that's complimentary.
Yeah, I was
something that's
thinking like
complimentary.
Tommy Lee,
but that's been confirmed over and over.
Right. I mean, that's much harder to come up with an answer because it's always all this...
Negative.
Would Wilt Chamberlain count where he slept with like 3,000 women, supposedly?
That's a good example because Wilt, God rest his soul, I bet if he was still alive, he would say, yeah, I had sex with a lot of women, but it's nowhere near the number that people are saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a pretty decent example right there.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
No lie, I've traded guys because they smoke too much. Because teams get their own culture. If you got one dude that's just, you walk down the hall in the hotel and he's on that floor and there's no doubt about it. And then all of a sudden these other kids start picking up on it. You see them coming out of their room. You see them, a little bit red-eyed coming to practice all of a sudden. You don't want them going down that road. I mean, everybody smokes, right? It's not about that. But there's smoking, there's how powerful the you're doing is, and then there's how much you do. If you get past that level and there's a chance where you might drag somebody with you, you got to look at the bigger picture.
You can put your weed in there.
You got to lay off the weed.
You want to get high?
Stay off the weed.
There was old Mark Cuban from the Sharknado movie series and also owner of the Dallas Mavericks. He made an appearance on the Patrick Beverly podcast, and they were talking about marijuana cigarettes and how everyone's on dope these days. And, I mean, he seemed pretty reasonable about the way he looks at pot smoking and playing for his basketball team. He says, yeah, look, everybody does it, but if it's got too big of a hold on you, I'll trade your ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
that makes sense.
Seems fair.
Fair enough.
I love him.
I never liked the guy. I always thought he looked like a puke bag douche.
Really?
Know-it-all ass clown. Then we had him on the radio 7, 8, 9 years ago, and he was wonderful.
I totally agree with you.
Totally changed my opinion of the man.
Yeah, I always loved him on Shark Tank. I always thought, when watching that, I'm like, when I get on there one day, I'm going to pick him.
I still think he needs to buy T-shirts that fit. I think he could use a personal shopper. Like, dude, there is such a thing as XL. Just go up one side. His nipples just come flying through his...
He does like to show those off.
Right.
Did he change or did we change? Because I felt the exact same way, that he seemed like a giant, braggadocious douchebag, but I don't feel that way anymore.
I don't know. We fell for it.
Yeah,
if it's
I'm
all
a fan now.
Yeah, if it's all an act, we fell for it because we really liked talking to him on the radio a few years ago.
Great.
I hope to do it again someday. Here's the deal real quick because I'm running late. Total drag at Target Field yesterday. Twins got a 2-0 lead, and then Duran blows it with a wild pitch in the 9th, and then in the 10th, a dude for the Guardians rips a 3-run home run. Dramatic comeback by Cleveland. Twins were up 2-0. They lose 5-2 in 10 innings. They got a day off today. and they start up a series in Texas. Sky Yuma, row the boat, go Gophers. Game 1 of the Golden Gopher football season is tonight. It's the opener at Huntingburg Park, or whatever they call the joint now.
I think it's Huntington Bank Stadium.
It's televised on Channel 9 at 7 o'clock against the University of Nebraska Cornhuskers. Fun, huh?
Yeah. Brave, Wappel, wearing your Nebraska T-shirt today.
Yeah.
You're going to get some crap from
really
somebody.
Brave.
What the hell got into this kid? Randy Shaver will be showing up in about a half hour, but don't go anywhere because my beloved Cubbies News is coming up next.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey, Minnesota. CJ Ham here. Huddle up for a second. You need someone to go the extra yard when your furnace or AC is out? Give the ball to the certified pros at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They've been at it for 90 years. Ready? Break.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Are you currently enjoying the show on the Stitcher app? Then you need to know Stitcher is going away on August 29th. Yep, going away, as in kaput, gone, dead. Rest in peace, Stitcher, and thanks for 15 years of service to the podcast community. So switch to another podcast app and follow this show there. Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
When we came running out, there was 4 officers. 3 of them were on the ground. The other one was limping around.
All I saw was bright lights and bodies flying.
4 Maine state troopers launched into the air when an allegedly stoned driver plowed into them Sunday and then said, "It wasn't my fault." 24-year-old Tyler Croston made excuses immediately after he struck the cops.
The other guy got out of the car and was like, "It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. The lights blinded me."
He sat there and said it wasn't his fault. I'm like, I don't see who else's fault it would be.
A woman had been speaking with the troopers by her driveway Sunday night about a family dispute when a red 2017 Subaru WRX suddenly slammed into the officers. A 28-year-old trooper took the full force of the car's impact, which, believe it or not, tossed him into some nearby woods.
I have 2 troopers, both conscious, but they are down.
They're advising 2 laying on the roadway, 1 in the woods.
The officer was rushed to the hospital for surgery, and he's going to be okay, thankfully.
Dude, he ended up being shot up into the woods.
Yeah. A 22-year-old trooper recruit underwent surgery with the other 2 troopers, both 33, treated and released with broken bones. Croston and his passenger, a 27-year-old woman, also suffered minor injuries. He was charged with aggravated OUI, aggravated driving to endanger, and reckless conduct with a dangerous weapon. The sheriff's office said that the case remains under investigation, with police recovering evidence from the man's vehicle suggesting he was high on marijuana at the time of the incident.
Nice work, stupid ass.
They also said it didn't appear he slowed down whatsoever. A man lured 2 Chicago firefighters to his home on the south side and locked them in the basement where the floor was covered with gasoline.
What the living hell?
It's like a movie.
Yeah.
The chief and lieutenant responded to a car fire in the garage of the man's home about noon Tuesday. After the fire was put out, the 47-year-old resident then told the 2 he smelled gas in his basement and asked, "Could you come check it out with me?"
Oh!
Once down, nothing to see here.
No.
Once down there, the firefighters didn't smell any gas and saw the suspect quickly run upstairs. They followed, but at the top of the staircase, they were confronted by the suspect pointing a large knife at them, and they noticed the strong scent of an accelerant. They also saw the entrance to the home boarded up, so they couldn't get out. The man ordered them back into the basement, but the firefighters burst into the living room instead and began struggling with the suspect for about 5 minutes. Eventually, the chief was able to get on the radio and alert crews outside and police. Some of the firefighters broke a window, jumped in, and grabbed the 2, while the others broke through the front door and while the man barricaded himself in the bathroom with 2 knives this time and an empty gun holster. The firefighters broke down the door and took him into custody. Things could have turned tragic quickly. Gasoline had covered the floor inside the home, and police found a loaded gun in plain view. The basement appeared to be filled with hoses or wires. No one was injured.
Dude, silence of the effing lambs.
That is psychotic.
That's messed up.
Masked armed robbers hit a home in Golden Valley, tied up and gagged residents before making off with jewels, a sports car, 8 high-priced purebred puppies, and other valuables, officials said.
You son of a bitch, you're stealing puppies.
Yeah, expensive ones, too.
I'm going to kick your ass.
Police said they believe the crooks had inside help in pulling off the job late Saturday at the home in the 6300 block of Medicine Lake Road. They knew exactly what they were looking for when they entered the home. We are confident the information we have about the suspects will lead to the arrest of those involved, the chief said. According to police, the occupants of the home reported that at least 3 suspects wearing ski masks and carrying guns forced them into the kitchen and bound their hands.
4 puppies.
I could never steal a puppy.
No.
Well, how do you steal a puppy? You can't steal a puppy.
It's evil.
They also bound their legs, and they put duct tape over their mouths. One of the occupants said the robbers were let into the home by a relative of the homeowner. The suspects stole jewelry, gaming systems, designer purses, 8 American Bully Merle puppies, 3 males and 5 females, valued between $5,000 and $10,000 each.
People know you don't see those dogs every day. You don't. So they're rare. And when you do see them, you know someone has acquired something that's different. They're not your everyday pet running around. So you will know if you see these dogs.
The suspects also stole a 2019 Dodge Challenger. Police say the haul added up to more than $100,000 worth of valuables. Anyone with information about the incident is asked to contact the Golden Valley Police Department.
You better be nice to those puppies.
Did it say how old the puppies were?
They were, no. Well, if they did, I took it out of the story. I don't
Okay.
remember.
Can't take them from their mama.
You better give them treats.
They are obviously concerned.
Do the puppies want treats?
I bet
Of course they want treats.
All puppies
Yeah,
want
they
treats.
do.
A man seeking to hook up with a fly honey became the victim of a carjacking in St. Paul last week. The alleged temptress, a 20-year-old Minneapolis woman, is charged with carjacking and aggravated robbery. Police say the woman contacted the victim, asking if he wanted to have some sex in the early morning hours of August 22nd.
Would you like some sex?
Wait a minute, really?
Turns out he did, and he ordered 1 sex from the woman. The victim drove to the woman, believing they would have sex in his Chevrolet. But instead, police said that she led the victim through a series of turns before a high-end car approached his Chevy from behind at a high rate of speed and rear-ended him. The victim told officers he was considering driving off, worried because the femme fatale had brought him to a sketchy street. But in the end, he didn't. 2 men armed with guns approached and told him to, quote, run his pockets. According to the charges, the victim, who was carrying his own gun, grabbed his weapon, and the confrontation ended in a shooting with the victim and one of the robbers shot.
Jesus criminy.
Officers say one of the men who had been shot by the victim was taken to a hospital by the villainous vixen in his BMW, while the other thief made off with the victim's Chevy. Investigators say the woman who is dating one of the carjackers is now in custody.
That's pretty sleazy.
I agree.
Freaking shootout over a piece of ass.
Police in Cottage Grove are searching for 2 suspects accused of stealing electronics and causing $250,000 in damages to a brand new apartment complex. Around 9 p.m. last Tuesday, the pair entered an apartment building and were there for about an hour. They stole various items, but the real financial damage was due to the extensive damage they caused when they tried to rip out and steal a refrigerator. They were unable to get away with the large appliance, but they broke the active water line connected to it in the process. The water ran in the 4th floor unit all night long and caused $250,000 in damages. These 2 gentlemen, I don't know if they were trying to support a habit or what they were doing, but I'd like them to know if they need some help, we'll help them, but they have to be held accountable, the Cottage Grove police spokesperson said. Police are now asking the public for any information that could help investigators track the 2 men down.
When you said they were trying to rip off a fridge, I immediately thought they must be on some type of drugs or something. What are you going to do with the used fridge? You know, hey, do you want a used fridge that was ripped out of a wall?
I guess
they're kind of pricey.
I kind of do want a second fridge.
You don't have a garage fridge yet?
No, I do not. Not yet. A Florida man is behind bars on battery and burglary charges after allegedly attacking a former girlfriend who taunted him via text about having a, quote, little penis.
Oh, no.
Police allege 30-year-old Rashad McGriff punched and choked the victim early Tuesday after showing up at her home uninvited. The woman told police she texted McGriff a photo of somebody else's bigger penis and advised Rashad he had a little penis.
Now this is a penis.
Yeah. McGriff didn't respond to those texts, but instead arrived at her residence around midnight Tuesday. McGriff, who has a lengthy rap sheet, is the father of the victim's 3 children.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Did she say, when it was all over, did she say, you could have done a little more damage if you had a bigger penis?
A bigger penis, man, would have knocked me out. That's barely a scratch.
That's not right. None of that is right.
No, it's awful. What a douche. An airline passenger karate chopped the neck of a Customs and Border Protection officer trying to keep her out of a prohibited zone at JFK Airport. 57-year-old Amelia Mathias was told she couldn't enter a secure area in Terminal 4 August 22nd. She refused to turn back and was caught on video chopping her arm down on the neck of an officer trying to escort her away. Hi-ya! Mathias, who lives in Queens, said she was tired after a long flight and was merely trying to get her luggage. She said someone directed her to the secure area, and she had wanted to defend herself and knew, however, she had done a bad thing. An Ohio man said he was first alerted by his alarm company his business was broken into early Thursday morning. He then drove to the store, Star Value, on West 105th Street in Cleveland. I saw the police cruiser in the parking lot and thought, wow, they got here fast, the man said. But he soon realized they got there so fast because the police cruiser was the one that slammed into his store. Security video first shows a vehicle driving by the store, followed by a cruiser with red lights and sirens on. The cruiser appears to go over a curb and then slams right into the front of the store. The police chief said the officer was trying to get a license plate off a vehicle they thought may be stolen when the crash took place. Luckily, the officer was said to be okay. Then in Florida, an out-of-control SUV smashed into a martial arts studio, injuring 4 students in a class.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
A woman suffered a medical episode about 7:30 p.m. Tuesday and drove straight into Master Roberts World-Class Taekwondo in northeast of Orlando. 4 teens attending class were slightly hurt when the SUV plowed through the window.
Honestly, I feel it's a miracle that nobody got dirty hit.
The accident is under investigation.
I'll tell you what, Josh. Unfortunately, fear does exist now in that dojo.
Oh, yeah, it does.
When a car comes ramshackling through the window, there's nothing you can do. Fear exists in that dojo.
I was thinking it was going to go the route that it was like a drunk driver or something, and then all the martial arts guys kicked his ass.
I love those stories.
Wouldn't that be great?
Nah, I was a cop, maybe distracted by the computer. Not sure exactly what happened there. But
if I ever crash my car into a karate class, my next mistake would probably be when I get out the car, I get into a fighting stance.
You have to.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right, fine. We'll fight this out.
You've already weakened your opponents.
Yes, that'd be the last you ever heard of me right there.
Also in Florida, somebody crashed into the front of a medical center. Authorities say a driver in a stolen car crashed into a house in St. Paul Tuesday night.
My bedroom was right here on the north side of the house, so it was facing right where their house is, and yeah, it was really loud, so I knew it was a bad accident.
A deputy tried to stop the driver about 11:50 p.m. after noting the vehicle's license plates were assigned to a different vehicle. The driver sped off, the sheriff's office said, and the deputy pursued until they lost sight of the vehicle. The driver ended up crashing into a home on the 1200 block of Edgerton Street, about a mile from where the incident began. Authorities tried to find the suspect, but were unsuccessful.
I mean, you grew up on a busy street where this could have happened to you.
Yeah, luckily it never did.
Me too. We lived right on a busy street. No one ever crashed into the house. One lady did crash into a tree in the front yard of our house.
Yeah, there wasn't anything like, there was an intersection by us where there were certainly a lot of crashes, but nothing that ended up at a house. I did see a car get T-boned, end up on a lawn a few miles from my house, and a buddy of mine, I mentioned before, they were on an episode of Cops because he lived on a busy road too, and somebody running from the cops crashed into their Yugo and set that up on their lawn. Was my friend and his dad in their underwear when they ran out in the middle of the night? Yes, they were.
Oh, that's even cooler.
Authorities in Roseville are asking for the public's help in identifying a man, and he's suspected of several groping incidents.
Gross.
Hey, Jinx. According to the Roseville Police Department, the suspect groped female victims at 2 separate retail stores in the city August 20th. He also may be involved in additional crimes around the metro, the agency said. We're asking our community to share this information to help identify and locate the suspect and send a message this behavior will not be tolerated in Roseville, the deputy chief said. You can see a picture of this dirtbag on 93x.com.
Does he look gropey?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
he has a gropey vibe. Anyone with information that could help police identify this jerkwad is asked to call or submit tips online.
I'm going to get on 93x.com, see if I know this guy.
I'm hoping you don't. I hope you don't associate with fellas like that. Tonight on CBS, The Price is Right at Night, a tribute to Bob Barker. Then on FX, the 5th season finale of What We Do in the Shadows with back-to-back episodes. Former Holy Angels star, retired Arizona Cardinals wide receiver, and future NFL Hall of Famer Larry Fitzgerald Jr. is 40 today. Now you can see him as an analyst for ESPN.
Word.
Detective James Carter in the Rush Hour movies. Chris Tucker, also known for the Friday series, 52 today.
I mean, really, honestly, one of the funniest men to ever act in a movie.
Me too. I wish he was in more stuff. Scorpions founder Rudolph Schenker, 75.
That does something to me. Rudolph Schenker. I mean, you want to talk about, again, one of the greatest to ever take the stage. I have lots and lots of love and respect for Rudolph Schenker, man.
Never been fortunate enough to see them live.
The Scorpions were so ahead of their time, it was ridiculous.
Staying Home Jesus checked in, wanted a last shout out to the best dog he's ever had. He said, "You will be missed, Lulu. Sorry about your booby." Medical Device Shipping Jesus checked in with a shout out to his team. Bludger? I hardly even know her. They took first place in Harry Potter trivia last night.
Oh, that's
I get it
awesome.
now.
Harry Potter trivia.
They took first place. They won. Happy birthday to Claire Bear Jesus, turning the big 06 today. Happy 12th birthday to Cameron from Mom, Lifeguard Jesus. And that's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Boy, get yourself somebody that looks at you the way that man looks at that soft serve. They might need to get a hotel room.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Jeez. Don't leave anything for chance, sir.
I think I'm done for the night. That escalated quickly.
How you doing, Randy? Nice to have you on the program.
I'm doing great.
That's good to hear. The video of this Braves fan at the ballpark in Denver watching his Braves play on the road against the Rockies. The video of this Braves fan with the ice cream cone is one of the greatest things to ever happen at a live baseball game. The combination of a grown man filleting a vanilla ice cream cone and the smart-ass comments from the announcers is just pure magic, and Josh and I can't get enough of it.
That is such a great video. I wish somebody would love me the way that man loves that ice cream cone.
He DT'd that thing. Like that's what gets you goes from lick to just
going for it.
Yeah, those announcers were so good, and it did escalate quickly. He skipped to that quickly.
Yes, it goes from just playful licking to the backseat of a car on a Saturday night kind of a scene. But I had a vanilla ice cream cone last night from McDonald's.
Oh, dude.
I mean, how are you supposed to eat it? I mean,
not like that.
It was kind of how he was looking at it too.
Yeah,
like they were in love. Like it was a new relationship.
That's a great point. And again, the combination of the comments. I don't know who these announcers are, but they're very clever. The one that says these two should get a hotel room. That's hilarious, right? Didn't he say that?
Oh, come on.
Did he say that or not?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe I was getting my videos mixed up. That's
So
very
during
funny.
the game, they go between pitches. They keep going back to him, right?
Yes, yes. And like Josh said, he's wildly in love with this ice cream cone.
And he just looks so happy.
Yes, he does. And then he
Well,
takes it. Yes.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. No one's saying this. I'm saying
it's beautiful.
I just got done saying it's one of the greatest things that's ever happened at a live baseball game. No one's saying anything's wrong with
Well,
it.
The licking
I can
makes
tell you right.
makes
I can
sense.
tell you right now. I have the same look on my face with ice cream that man does with his.
Absolutely. and so do I. And you know what? It had been decades.
And I'm not ashamed of it either.
No, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. That's our whole point here.
I might follow Shaver to the milkshake bar now at the fair.
I'm
jealous.
jealous.
See this.
I want that passion for something.
I'm telling you, when I get those malts at the Dairy Barn, I savor every bite. It's so good. They are so good.
Yeah, they are. And so is the friggin' cone at McDonald's. Now, I went decades without caring about ice cream at McDonald's. And then somebody said to me, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, hey, you want to swing over to McDonald's and get a cone? I don't know, sure, I guess. I wasn't enthusiastic about it at all. And now I'm hooked on the friggin' things. And let me tell you something, they don't cheat you.
No, they don't. My mom will... She will take this to her grave that McDonald's has the best ice cream cone she'll ever eat.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Loves them.
And it's hard to get it to go straight and get the swirl and everything on there.
Did you mess up a couple cones, Wappel?
Oh, tons of cones. But then to get the little swoop on the top, too.
It's an art. I used to do that, too.
An art.
I love when they get the little swoop. It's perfect.
So check out the video of this Braves fan and the love affair he had with a vanilla cone at the ball game the other day. It'll put a smile on your face. It's a happy kind of a thing.
You made me want one.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. You're only human. There you go, Randy. Ice cream, sure. Yeah, I've been telling you guys.
We all scream for ice cream.
I've become more of a fan of sweets every day I get older. Every day that I get older, I become more hooked on cookies and ice cream and candy. I just chomp it up.
Dude, same here lately, Nick, and I don't know if I like it too much because it's getting kind of out of control. Did you eat a lot of salt in your past, and is that why it's changing to candy? Because that's what one of the theories I have is maybe I just have had so much salt. My body is like, all right, time to finally eat some sweets.
It's not something that I've ever thought of, Ashley, but now that you've said it out loud, I think I'm going to go along with that theory, that maybe I've transformed or transferred from salt to sweets in my life.
I still love both. And you guys got to try these little nerds clusters. Oh, they are so good.
Oh, yeah, my wife goes through those.
Good.
Yeah, I'm not a sweets person. I mean, I love I'll drink Mountain Dew. You can count that, I guess.
We like one little nerd so much we made him our board op.
And sometimes you're a cluster.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't trust anyone who's not a sweets person. I don't trust you guys.
You don't trust me because of that? Okay.
I don't trust it.
I'm with you, Randy Shaver.
I don't know. I guess I don't know a ton of sweets adults. My wife certainly is, and obviously Nick and Ashley just said they were.
And I wasn't up until a couple years ago, and now I will inhale a sleeve of cookies like it's my friggin' job.
So up until a couple of years ago, you were untrustworthy.
I guess I was.
Now you've earned Randy's trust. That's all it takes.
Speaking of Wappel over there, what a drag at Target Field yesterday. I feel bad for Wappel's dad.
Boy.
His dad goes through the trouble of taking his little Muppet boy to the game.
That's a lot right there.
Filling him full of salt, whatever, popcorn and peanuts, sunflower.
Oh, we had so many piles of sunflower seeds.
You guys
around.
know how, Randy, you know how it is when you take a child to a ball game. You got to keep them entertained or they'll ruin the experience for you.
I got a beverage. My dad bought it. It was
Wappel
great.
running into the stadium with his glove on his hand. He's the kid that brings the glove to the game.
Yeah, I hugged TC.
I can see just carrying around a helium balloon.
So, all Wappel's...
I have to get a youth-size hat, too, with my stupid head.
All Wappel's dad wanted was a win, and the Twins full-on wet the bed.
Yes.
They were up 2-0.
Very unfortunate. I think I read last night this was their 26th blown save of the year, which is second most to Colorado in the major league.
Are you sure? I never in a million years would have guessed that they had. Are you 26 in a year?
I thought I saw that on Twitter yesterday.
That can't be true. That can't be true.
I thought I saw that on Twitter that was the number.
I mean, what's his name? Duran has blown, 7 or 8? Jack's 2 or 3? This is just off the top of my head. I try to watch every single game. If Dana can find that would blow me away if that was the truth.
I'm looking right now.
Well, I saw that. I thought the number was 26, and I thought they were second only to Colorado.
It can't be blown saves. It must be leads after 7, and it's got to be.
It It might be that.
Yeah, Duran has blown 5 saves. Yesterday was his 5th blown save. What's his nuts? Jax is in there. Oh, Lopez. I forgot about Lopez.
Yeah.
Well, but maybe he didn't. Maybe Lopez. Remember they released him. What was his first name? Jorge. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
He couldn't have been in too many save opportunities because Duran's been here all year long. So it's got to be a late inning thing, Randy. That's just my guess.
Okay. Well, maybe Dana can look it up and confirm what I saw, but I thought that's what the statement was, that they had second only to Colorado. And if that's the case, I mean, even if it's leads after 7, again, that's probably not too surprising to Twins fans who feel like the bullpen has been part of the reason why they're not running away with this division. I mean, they have a 5-game lead. I don't know anybody right now that feels super comfortable with that.
The bullpen has been a little shaky lately. Yes,
it's a cushion that you should be able to hold on to, but they still have 3 games in Cleveland next week, and they still have a schedule that will provide them some issues in September. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. One Twins writer pointed out this stat. If the Twins go 14-14, so they play 500 ball the remaining 28 games, Cleveland has to go 19-9 to catch them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which is what we said the other day.
Right.
All they got to do is play 500 baseball. But, I mean, I think the dynamic would change, and I just throw this out there. If the Twins go to Texas and get swept, and Cleveland wins 2 of 3, and then you go into Cleveland and you get swept there.
Oh.
Now the lead's down to 1. Now things change. I mean, you can throw all those numbers out the window. Now it's like every game is going to be scoreboard watching and critical. So
yeah,
you don't want to get to that point. The Twins have got to go into Texas and play well. Yeah, you don't want that.
I loved how the Twins put in Thunderberg, and the stadium started playing Thunder, and then everyone would go Thunder.
You're talking about Thunderstruck by AC/DC?
Yep, with Thunderberg.
The guy's only making his 2nd appearance. He doesn't need a theme song.
It was great. Everyone was getting into it.
Well, that's fun and everything, and then he blows it. I mean, he gave up the 3-run home run to Calhoun, correct?
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, I'm cheering for the kid. I'm just saying, let's not hang a theme song on him after 2.
Oh, I love it.
2 appearances. A damn shame for Sonny Gray. 7 scoreless innings. He'd only thrown 81 pitches.
It's been the story of his season, right?
Yes, it has.
I mean, he didn't have a win for 3 months, and a lot of it wasn't his fault. They just didn't provide enough runs for it. And yesterday, they provided enough runs for him, and then the bullpen's unable to hold on. So,
well,
he deserves a better fate than that.
I don't want to start up the tired argument of Rocco pulling guys too soon, but he only threw. Right. I know you want to conserve these guys for the playoffs. I understand both sides of the argument, but I don't need to even say this. You guys know this. If this is 25 years ago, Sonny Gray doesn't go anywhere after the 7th inning. He goes nowhere. Correct. He stays on the mound, and he likely completes the game. At any rate, Buck Wild ending. They lose 5-2. Correa getting booed again. He grounded into his 28th double play. He also popped up, struck out a couple of times. He's been struggling. And like you were saying, Randy, now they go to Texas. They take a day off. They go to Texas. Scherzer against Joey Ryan tomorrow night.
This will be a great matchup. And they, if you look at the schedules, I looked this morning at Cleveland's remaining schedule and the Twins' remaining schedule. There's no doubt the Twins have an advantage with the remaining schedule. They don't play as tough a schedule, I think, that Cleveland does. Cleveland's got 3 games, I believe, against Tampa before the Twins get into town. They still have Baltimore on their schedule. They still have some teams that are playoff-bound teams where the Twins, once they get through this part of the schedule, they're going to get the White Sox. They're going to get the Angels. They're going to get Detroit. They're going to get teams that will, that aren't as menacing on the schedule in September that Cleveland has. Okay. But, as I said, if you get into Cleveland at the end of that Cleveland series next week, and if that lead is down to 2 or less, it doesn't matter what the schedule says finishing up. It's going to be tight, and it's going to be, things are going to pucker up because it's just going to be a tough finish. They need to have a 4-game or larger lead, I think, to have at least a little bit of breathing room to finish out the month of September.
I'm with you, Randy.
It looks like the Twins have 26 blown saves. That's a tie with the White Sox,
Yep.
Rangers, and Orioles. And then
There you go.
The Rockies are the only team worse than them with 27.
There you go.
This season.
Yes.
That would be...
Yes.
So we've had...
Do you have what pitchers have blown what amount of saves?
No, I don't, but I have blown saves 26, save opportunities 57. That is a 54% save percentage.
That's terrible.
That blows me away.
That's terrible.
I'm still not 100% buying it.
Think about it, though. Think about it this way, though, Nick. A save opportunity is with a 1-run lead or a 3-run lead with 3 outs to go, right? So there's variations as to what those save opportunities look like.
Sure.
So, sometimes they'll, to blow a 3-run lead is massive, but it's still a save opportunity in the 9th inning. So
it
just depends on the situation too.
Yeah, well,
how you look at
Josh, you're right. Josh just handed me the numbers. Okay, I guess I got to go along with it. That sounds massive to me.
I know it does, but that is obviously there's a lot of reasons why a team is in a position that they're in. Having said all that, the Twins are still 5 games in front.
That's right.
You can look at it the other way too and say, they're lucky to be in that position right now. So,
do you have the numbers, Nick?
I have them in front of me.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
I do. Well, what's his the love of my life, Josh, across the board, passed them to me. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Oh, by the way, a listener has texted in with another theory on my need for sweets here in the last couple of years, where I can't get enough of cookies and cupcakes and candy and things like that. This is really interesting. This listener doesn't have a Jesus name here that I see. He says, have you been cutting back on drinking? This guy says, I used to drink a lot of beer. I've been cutting back lately, and I can't get enough of candy and cookies and ice cream. My body...
Hold on. Same here.
Okay, and that's a interesting theory because, yes, in the last 3 years, I don't drink nearly as much beer as I used to. I still drink beer every night. I just don't blast them away like I used to. So maybe there's something to that. He says he's been cutting down on his drinking, and he craves all the friggin' cookies and the ice cream.
Oh, I wonder why that is.
Okay.
He says, my body's craving sugar. So is there a lot of sugar in my can of beer?
I'm not sure.
I don't follow things like that. I have no idea what's in my beer. I know there's alcohol in there. I don't follow. I'm not one of these beer people who counts barley and hops and all that.
It's not your fault. They don't put the nutrition facts on there.
Well, I don't know. you could have fooled me. They could have it all there. I wouldn't know. So anyway.
It looks like I'm seeing 0 grams of sugar in beer, but maybe it's the carbs?
Fair enough. I don't know, but that's an interesting theory, and I appreciate the text. Luke Harper, oh, for Christ's sake, Luke Harper, he's dead. Bryce Harper hit his 300th home run. Was it yesterday? 300th career home run. The 12th active player. That's another number that sounds high to me, but it's true.
It does.
The 12th active player to be at 300 home runs or more. I can't believe I called him Luke Harper. Those would be, Jesus, J.D. Martinez has 300 home runs?
Oh, I'd buy that.
Manny Machado.
Miguel Cabrera, for sure.
Of course. You want to keep going, Randy? You said
Machado.
I
said Machado.
Okay, I did say Machado. I said J.D. Martinez. You said Miguel Cabrera. The other was Bryce Harper. Active players with 300 home runs. Go.
Oh, gosh. I can't think this morning.
What do you got? A vanilla ice cream cone in one hand? Freddie Freeman.
I was going to say Freddie Freeman.
Do you want to try, or should I just roll it?
Freddie Freeman, to me, I don't know. Is it just Freddie Freeman to me seems too young to be at 300.
Yeah,
I don't see him as that veteran player that would be at 300.
All right, let me give you a hint.
But I suppose.
Yeah.
all you need is 8 seasons of 35 to get there. Even I don't know, but gosh, all right, Freddie Freeman.
I'm going to give you a hint on. I'm going to give you a hint on another one. This player who has 300 home runs or more, active player, has the same first name as a first name you considered for your eldest son. You've told us this story before. Sorry.
No.
Sorry. This player has the same first name as a player you named your first son after. Maybe you're not remembering the story. Nolan Arenado has 300. Didn't you say you almost named your first son Nolan? After?
Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ryan, yes.
Right.
Okay.
Paul Goldschmidt, Evan Longoria, Joey Votto, Mike Trout, Giancarlo Stanton, Miguel Cabrera, and Nelly Cruz have 300 career.
I forgot about. Yeah.
More hilarious misery from the New York Yankees. A player by the name of Harrison Bader was waived by the Yankees a couple days ago. The way he found out he was a goner is a fun story. He said he was in the lunchroom 10 minutes before game time when he learned by watching ESPN that the Yankees had placed him on waivers.
I was in the lunchroom. I saw it on ESPN. Guess it popped up somehow over there, so that's how I found out.
What was your reaction when you saw that news?
What does waivers mean? But, listen, in all seriousness, regardless of what happened or may happen, just getting the opportunity to, play in this uniform, and I still hopefully do get the opportunity to play in this uniform. Listen, it's all about the ball, and I just love playing ball, over here. It's been a blast so far, so I guess we'll find out what happens.
He's keeping a good attitude, Randy Shaver.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the roster until he's picked up, right? I mean, that's how it works. So either he gets picked up or they'll cut him or something, because obviously they're looking for somebody to take over his contract. The same thing with all the Angels players. I saw where Hunter Renfroe hit a home run, was it last night, I think, for the Angels, even though they put him on waivers. So, we'll see. I read something yesterday that said that Cleveland is ahead of the Twins when it comes to any waiver acquisitions. So if there's a pitcher that the Twins would consider picking up in that Angels fire sale, that Cleveland actually would be able to pick that player up before the Twins.
Is that because they're lower in the standings?
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
All right, Oregonian Jesus is texting in with another theory on my need for sweets. He asked this question: have you been taking part in the new Legal 420? I'm not much of a sweets fan, but the munchies got me craving ice cream every day. No, Oregonian Jesus, I'm not partaking in all this marijuana stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm 100% against it. And me and a team are planning on making a speech in front of... I'm 100% against all this marijuana friendliness, so no.
You're picketing outside the Capitol
yes.
with a re-illegal it.
Yes.
He's got a sign in one hand and a bucket of Sweet Martha's in the other. Somebody texted in and said that in treatment they have sugar candy to try and help people trying to cut alcohol. So there's something there. It must be... Sure seems related then.
That's interesting.
It must be related that I'm not blasting through Steve Weisers like I used to, so I eat a couple of M&M cookies. But, you're right, Dana. My sign's not going to say legalize it. It's going to say re-illegalize it. I'm tired of all this marijuana stuff. Tired of it. Sky Yuma, row the boat, go Gophers. Tonight, game one there at the ballpark with the 7 o'clock game against the University of Nebraska.
Yep.
It's going to be a good time.
Should be a good game. I think the Gophers will win. Nebraska's got a lot of things to figure out. They've got a new head coach. They've got a new quarterback. It may take them a while to kind of figure out who they are, what their identity is. This is PJ's 7th year. I was reading the article this morning that it's no longer comparing PJ. You can't compare PJ to coaches in the past, Jerry Kill, Glenn Mason, that kind of thing. You compare PJ to his past records now. And I think I agree with the article. I think Chip Scoggins wrote it this morning that, it's an established program now. We know what we're getting. They've got their footing underneath them. whether you like PJ or you don't like PJ, the fact of the matter is the Gopher football program's in a much better place than it was before he got here. And so we'll see. When you have a tough schedule like they have, the best thing you can do is take it, it's the cliche, but just take it one at a time. And don't think about what's coming next, and just worry about the game that you're about to face. Because if you start thinking about the schedule as a whole, you go, man, this is just going to be brutal. But just one at a time, and it starts with Nebraska tonight. So,
it ought to be a fun time.
Crowd, should be big. Yeah.
Gophers are touchdown favorites. I just looked that up.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're better than that, personally, in this game. I mean, I'm sure Nebraska fans are excited that to see what they've got. But I think the Gophers have that quarterback has played enough last year. They've got enough seasoning behind him. The only thing is, how do you replace Mo? Right? I mean, that's really the biggest question right now. Who's going to carry the football for them? Because they're going to run the ball. They're going to run it a lot.
I understand they've got some talented kids. They got a talented group of running backs that they have high hopes for three of these guys that they could fill the void. I mean, no one can completely fill the void of Mo Ibrahim. He's one of the greatest Gopher running backs of all time. But I got high hopes that they can find a way to make the running game go.
It may be by committee, too. It may be a bunch of guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's what I was saying. And I'll tell you what, every day I read a new article with somebody, some college football dork saying, look out for this ball club. I really do. Yeah. So I don't know much about it. I'll know more after I watch tonight. But
I think there's enough experience on both sides of the football where there should be some confidence that this team could be pretty good. But we've thought that the last couple of years, and they've done well, but they haven't quite gotten to where, people thought they should win the West or should be in the Big Ten championship game. Don't think that's the possibility, but they should be pretty good.
Just got a text message from Iowegian Laser Tech Jesus. He says, I will laugh when the Gophers flop. Tell you what, Iowegian Laser Tech Jesus, take that laser and cut off your own pee-pee. Laser off your little pee-pee.
Sounds painful.
Wappel said.
Yeah, I did. I'll vouch for that one.
Wait a minute. You finally are going to admit that you say these things? How about this text? More text messages on the connection between sugar and drinking, and you're not drinking so much, so you go after more sugar. Fold shaver like a taco Jesus. Says he does dry January. He does a dry January every year, and he says, every January, I'm a slut for donuts. Oh, by the way, speaking of Nebraska, the University of damn Nebraska, they set a record. They set a world record here a day or two ago. 92,000 fans packed into their football stadium to watch the University of Nebraska women's volleyball game.
This was so cool.
They broke a record for live human beings at a women's sporting event. What is an unbelievable scene? If you're looking at the picture there, Ashley?
Yeah, you can feel the energy.
Jesus.
It's on our website, isn't it?
Yep.
Man, it's going to be tough to see a volleyball game from the last row.
Yeah.
That's true.
What a crowd.
Pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's a carnival-like atmosphere there, Randy.
And it wasn't like they played Texas or some big ranked team. I think they played like Omaha or something, right?
Omaha. Yes, they did.
Yeah. So I mean, I think this was a in-state challenge to see if they can. I'm sure the hype for this was just incredible to try to fill that place up to break that record. So pretty cool.
Oh man. Oh, something or another here with that NIL deal that college athletes get to jump in on. The NIL deal where they make a little money. University of Oklahoma quarterback General Booty. And we remember his older brother, right? John, or was that his dad, John David Booty? Didn't he have a cup of coffee here with the Vikings?
Yeah.
Was
that his older brother or his dad?
Probably his dad.
Jesus, really? Has it been that long? That would John David Booty played in the NFL, played for the Vikings. This year is General Booty. The most famous third-string quarterback in college football. He's not going to throw any passes for Oklahoma. They got better quarterbacks for that. But because he's got this silly name, isn't it kind of strange that people just want to gravitate towards him just because his last name is Booty?
Sure.
Social media is so effed up. I mean, good for this kid, but he has just this massive following on social media just because imagine if his last name was Vagina. You know what I mean?
That'd be a big following, I bet.
So he's landed some NIL deals because his name is so, I guess, hilarious. He's making some money off of skin cream, and the skin cream company has made T-shirts that say "Booty Call" or "I Love Booty."
Oh boy!
I know, isn't it kind of? What? How is this that interesting to so many people? But anyway, his latest deal, no surprise, he's got an NIL deal with a company that sells underwears.
Sure, that makes sense.
And socks and underwears.
Did you, by any chance, see any of the promo photos they used?
No, I did not.
Well, like one, he's wearing a cowboy hat and underwear, and he's riding a horse.
All right.
General Booty.
Take my money.
I mean, would you guys follow someone on social media just because their last name was a slang term for a butt?
No, because I'm not 10.
Well, maybe he's funny on Twitter. I don't know.
This stuff is, it just surprises me at times how easily you can become filthy rich.
It looks like John David Booty is his brother.
His brother.
Oh, okay.
Are we close enough to the NFL season, Randy Shaver, for you to make some predictions, or at least do this for me, if you can? Listen to a prediction. Listen to a prediction that I have in front of me here from a website called Bra Bible. Bra Bible. Good.
Bro Bible. Where's your mind?
Oh, you know what General Booty needs to... You know what product
he needs? Bra Bible.
General Booty, according to a listener, needs to start repping Booty Sweat. The drink...
I've never had that.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's because it doesn't exist. It's from that funny movie where they're not really Vietnam soldiers, but they're actors. What was that called again?
Oh, Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
What about Bootios?
Oh, Bootios.
Did you guys ever have a box of Bootios?
I did.
No.
I did.
I wish.
They were delicious. Okay. I got a prediction here for you, Randy Shaver, for the NFL season, specifically for the Vikings. And you tell me if you agree with all of it, some of it, none of it, whatever.
Okay.
Again, from Bra Bible.
No.
The Minnesota Vikings won't make the playoffs after winning 13 games last year. The Lions are the team to beat in the NFC North. The Vikings...
I've said that.
You have said that.
Yes.
You have made that prediction many times. The Vikings are headed in the opposite direction. There's no doubt that their team is worse heading into this season than they were last season. Alexander Mattison isn't a great replacement for Dalvin Cook. Jordan Addison, the new wide receiver, is a rookie. He's going to need some time to develop. The defense was bad last year. It'll be worse this year. And now they don't even have an offense that can make up for it. To make the situation even tougher, the Vikings have to face a first-place schedule. This year, they'll likely be looking at quite a few more losses. It will likely be Kirk Cousins' last season, and this time next year, we could be even looking at a rebuild.
Yep. I agree with all that.
Okay.
I mean, and here's one of the... I looked at the Vikings... I challenge everybody to look at the Vikings' 53-man roster, the final roster, and tell me what you see. Because I look at the roster, I don't even recognize, I would say, 3/4 of the names.
Okay.
I just don't. And there's no standout on the defensive line. I mean, Danielle Hunter's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I'm
It's a bummer.
I agree with that statement 100%. I hope the Vikings have a good year. I wish them good luck. I don't see it. I just don't see it.
Okay. Fair enough.
I do have a football note, though, that I want to pass along this morning because it's happening in Josh's hometown tonight.
Yeah.
And history is going to be made in Minnesota tonight at TCO Stadium in Eagan. A high school football team in Minnesota will be the first ever in Minnesota, but maybe the first ever in the country to wear the Guardian cap on their helmets in a real game.
Oh, wow.
It's never been done before, but Park High School out of Cottage Grove has made the decision they're going to wear the Guardian caps in games, and their first game is tonight against Eastridge at TCO Stadium. High school football season kicks off tonight. But they made the decision that they're going to wear the Guardian caps all season long. I know a lot of coaches, I did a story on this on Tuesday night. A lot of coaches are weighing in. They're going to be very curious to see what kind of data Park is able to figure out for a full season of wearing them, not just in practice, but in games when you're going full speed. If it does make any sort of difference in lessening head injuries, concussions, kids out, whatever, we'll find out. But I think it's a pretty cool story
that's awesome.
That a team is making this decision to do this. The players can't even tell they got them on. They just look goofy, right?
Yeah, they look so silly. I love it.
The players don't even. They weigh 7 ounces. It's like having a feather on your head. You can't even tell.
The other teams are going to make fun of them for it, though.
Well, I don't know. Eastridge might, only because they're district rivals, so all these kids grew up together. So I'm sure there'll be a little bit of chirping. But the coach at Eastridge, Dan Fritzy, told me that he's really going to be curious how this works all season long. I think you'll see a lot of teams think about changing to wearing them in the games.
Yeah,
and I think what'll happen is this. The high school league's only stipulation is that they all have to be the same color when they wear them, okay? So the uniform is, they're not wearing different color Guardian caps. But I think what you'll see is once teams start wearing them in games or wanting to wear them in games, the Guardian cap company will begin customizing those in school colors or school emblems on them so that they don't look as weird as they do right now.
If folks don't know what we're talking about, they're these big bubble caps that you put on top of a football helmet. Now, normally, teams were using them just in practice to prevent concussions, so the kid can play in the real game.
Well, you can't prevent concussions. You
know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Lessen the impact of being hit head to head. Yeah.
So it's almost like something Josh did back in high school. A lot of times Josh would put on a rubber before he even went on the date.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
Right.
Just in case.
Preventative.
Yeah. Preventative measures.
Yeah,
you know what that
premature
was,
preventative.
Nick, you know what that was, though? That's what you would call, in quotes, hopeful thinking.
Yes.
This year was the first year that I ever noticed that they were wearing those. I saw
on
a
Hard
clip
Knocks.
It might have been actually. But
the NFL.
Sorry, Randy. Just real quick, I saw that they were wearing them, and I turned to my boyfriend. I was like, "Oh, what is that for? Is that just to protect them even more?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's just lessens the possibility for an injury." And I was like, "Why don't they wear those all the time?"
Right.
That's a good point.
Well, the NFL,
just walking down the street.
The NFL mandated wearing Guardian caps in practice for all teams at all times.
Right.
So that's why you see these teams wearing them in practice. It's now a mandated thing by the NFL.
When did they do that? Was that just recently?
This year was the first year where they mandated that. Yeah.
Okay.
When I played soccer in middle school, there was a brief movement of this thing. It was called header gear, where you would wear this padded helmet type thing around your forehead and stuff where you're supposed to head the ball to lessen concussions. And we were all like, we get made fun of enough for playing soccer. We're not going to give them more ammo to rip on us. Are you kidding me? Now throw that in the trash.
Now I've got a fruit basket on my head, It's funny. The last time I brought this up, none of you remembered this. Maybe this, what do you call the gimmick again in football? What do they call it?
The Guardian cap?
maybe this Guardian cap thing will become the norm. But the last time I brought this up, everyone said, I don't remember that. No one remembers that funny fat hat that pitchers wore in Major League Baseball for maybe you do remember it now?
I remember that.
I only remember it because you told us to look it up, and it's the funniest thing ever.
There was a handful of pitchers worried about, comebackers hitting them in the cranium who wore this big, fat, protective ball cap. It didn't last long. I mean, maybe it'll be different with the Guardian cap.
It's so funny looking.
And you know what, Randy Shaver? I got a text from a listener who says, okay, Randy, you don't think the Vikings are going to be successful because you don't recognize a lot of the names on their roster for the upcoming season. This listener says, folks said the same thing about the AEW roster before they took off. The listener says, no one cared about Angelico or Danhausen or Colt Cabana.
You know what?
Or Fuego del Sol.
I stand corrected. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Or
Perfect
Marco
example.
Stunt. Or Evil Uno. All right.
The people the company's been built on.
We're running out of time. What else did I have here for you? Oh, well, just in case you had heard that the Washington Commodores were planning another name change. According to the owner of the ball club, whoever he is, he says there aren't any more name changes coming. They're sticking with the Washington Commodores.
Well, they're Commanders, but yes, you're right.
So they did change the name.
No, it's always actually been that since
Been
they
the
changed
Commanders,
it. Yeah.
yes.
Once they changed it, it was Commanders.
It would be funny if they went to the Commodores, though.
Yeah, what would you call them then? The Commanders?
I don't know.
They
It's hard to keep up with all this.
They got look-alike mascots of the Commodores running around the field.
Dude. All right, Randy. There you go.
I saw the over-under for Gopher wins this year is 7. What do you think? Gopher football, over-under in wins in Vegas is 7.
And they play Michigan. They play Ohio State.
Yep.
Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they play North Carolina. They play a very challenging schedule. The over-under is 7.
Yeah, I don't know. You tell me. You're the derelict, degenerate gambler. Where would your money go?
I guess 7 is the perfect number to really make you stop and think.
Oh, well, let me ask you this. Before you answer, let me ask you this. Is Evil Uno on their roster?
No, not that I know of.
Evil Uno is not on the Golden Gopher roster.
No, he's not.
Well, if I were in Vegas right now, I think I would take the under. And not that I don't think they're going to have a good year. I hope I'm wrong. But I just don't know if they have enough firepower to overcome that schedule. And when you factor in the possibilities of injuries down the road, I think the safer bet is probably taking the under. So that's what I would say.
Well,
I would say 6 and 6.
Okay. And I don't think anyone here is going to argue with that. You know who the Golden Gophers could use on their roster to push that number higher than 6? Brian Cage. For you AEW fans. If Brian Cage is carrying the football, they win every game. Or Will Hobbs. Or maybe your starting tight end is Luchasaurus.
Just have MJF on the sideline as your coach yelling at the other team.
And I know what some of you are saying. You're saying, again, with the wrestling. I can't help it. Randy, tomorrow's Friday. And because we've saddled you with this terrible, cell phone because of the state fair, we can't have. We're going to pass on dad fights. It'll be another relaxing Friday for you. You won't have to go head to head with Brad Ryder. We'll get to that next week. Okay.
That's great because I'll have a late night with high school football, so that would be fantastic.
Stay out late drinking with the high school kids. Do what you got to
do. I do every football night.
We know you do. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you very much.
See ya.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey, Minnesota. CJ Ham here. Huddle up for a second. You need someone to go the extra yard when your furnace or AC is out? Give the ball to the certified pros at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They've been at it for 90 years. Ready? Break.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
Are you currently enjoying the show on the Stitcher app? Then you need to know Stitcher is going away on August 29th. Yep, going away, as in kaput, gone, dead. Rest in peace, Stitcher, and thanks for 15 years of service to the podcast community. So switch to another podcast app and follow this show there. Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show.
69. This show sucks. Who are you, fart knockers?
93X.
This guy calling a fart knocker. I hear you. What a terrific crowd. Thanks for listening to the 93X Half-assed morning show. It is 8:31. 8:30. By God, where should we go from here? Oh, you know what? I was just reading something or another about the young people. You know, Ashley, you're almost the only young person that I know terribly well.
That's probably good.
Except for Lee. Lee is one of my main bros down at the Legion Hall. He's your age, but he's not your typical young person. He's a much older acting 25-year-old, which is probably why we're bros. So where I'm going with all this is I can't learn much about what makes the young people tick or what the young people are all about by hanging out with Lee, because he doesn't come off all young-like. You also seem a little older than your age.
Yeah, I've always felt that way.
Sometimes. There are things that you do that I consider a trait of a young person.
Yeah.
You say like way too much, and
sure.
we can't get you to show up to work on time. But other than that, you seem to be a little... So I've had to learn about the young folks through articles that we get here at the radio station. Let me throw this your way. Tell me what you think. It says younger folks are concerned. They're very careful to never show off their bare feet.
Yeah, 100%.
Or, as they call them, their dogs. They're very concerned about showing their bare feet in public or posting pictures of their bare feet online.
No free feet pics.
So yeah, you're aware of this.
Yeah, absolutely. If I ever post a selfie or something, I make sure that my feet aren't in it, and if they are, put a little emoji over it.
I was just telling Nick off air, I hear people make feet finder jokes a lot lately. So, and it's related to this. Oh, you can't get a free peek at my feet. I'm going to end up on Feet Finder or whatever. I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
to the point I had to ask someone about it. Like, are you on Feet? I don't understand. You're making this reference all the time.
Well, Josh was telling me about this off air, and I said, I don't understand. What are you talking about? And he had to tell me. So Feet Finder is some kind of a foot fetish porn site?
Yeah, it is.
And all
women
of you
can make
were aware
money.
of this? All of you are aware of this?
Oh, yep. And women can make money off of it. So it's it's like if someone's going to make money off of my feet, it better be me.
That's the theory, right? I mean, that's the thought behind this?
I know friends that sell feet pictures.
I thought
You have
about
friends
it a couple
that
times.
sell foot pictures.
Yeah.
I know girls that have joked about it, and it seemed like one of those jokes where maybe they've actually thought about it.
Yeah,
and
they're
actually,
like,
you really have?
Yeah, because they're just my feet. I wouldn't mind selling some feet pics.
Okay. But no free feet pics,
No
you said
free
a
minutes.
minute ago.
No free feet pics.
All right, so I had to keep reading because I'm not tuned into any of this. Again, it said younger folks are very careful not to show off their bare feet in public or online. And so I said, I'm sitting here asking myself, why? The story goes on to say, wearing socks with sandals used to be a big fashion no-no, but people in their 20s are insisting on covering up their toes. They even call out people who are showing their feet with the hashtag dogs out.
Oh, I didn't know about that. I don't know about the public thing. I still see people with their feet all out. I wish no one had their feet out in public.
Yeah, you
'cause
get
I
grossed
hate
out by feet, don't you?
Yes.
I actually have seen this a lot with the younger people, men and women too.
See,
You've
which part?
seen what?
Online, or what do you mean?
Seen what?
Just out in public wearing sandals with very high socks. Very
okay.
high.
And it's not just fashionable. You know that this is because they don't want their feet photographed or seen in public?
It has to be because it doesn't look good.
Well, I mean, I've always worn socks with sandals because I don't like feet, so maybe those people are the same. And I never thought it looks that bad. If you have like a pair of slides on and you have a pair of I don't know, mid calves. It's not
I think
that
it looks
bad.
horrible.
Really?
Here's Lake Street Handshake Jesus. And yes, I'm well aware of how disgusting my feet are. I'm the first person that will usually bring it up. Lake Street Handshake Jesus says I could sell pictures of my feet to something called the Gore Gallery. Do you know what that means?
No.
No one knows what that...
Fun Size Jesus said her and her best friend thought about doing 2 girls, 4 feet to help pay for their weddings. They ended up not doing it, but it was a serious consideration for them, she said.
So here's why, if you haven't been able to follow what we've been talking about, here's why young people aren't showing their feet off. It says they are hyper aware of the foot fetish community. They grew up on the internet, young people, so they know how big the foot fetish community is.
Yeah, that's
And they
true.
don't want to be part of it? This topic has gone viral on TikTok. God, I hate saying that. A lot of women sharing that they've gotten countless unsolicited requests for pictures of their feet, and it makes them uncomfortable. I had no idea any of this was going on. However,
I just saw an article the other day about there's a bunch of OnlyFans, what do you call them, stars, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Models.
OnlyFans models, who have said that's becoming one of the number one requests, pictures of their feet.
No way, dude. I better hop on Feet Finder before it blows up.
There's been a lot of people, like friends of mine, that have started coming out of the woodworks as foot fetishes.
What?
friends of yours
Yeah.
have been telling you that they're turned on by feet?
Yeah, and I was shocked by it. I was like, whoa, never knew.
I would be shocked by that as well if my buddies started getting erections for bare feet.
Mentally drunk, but not physically drunk. Jesus said that his wife had some foot surgeries when she was young, and she's made $800 this year on Foot Finder.
Wow.
And I have nothing against folks who find feet sexual. So when I say that I would be shocked if my friends said they were interested in feet, I'm not trying to disparage those who are interested in feet. I'm just saying if my friends, knowing them for as long as I have, if they upped and said feet turn me on, I would be shocked.
I think they can be sexy.
Really?
Definitely, yeah.
Again, maybe
like in the right shoe.
Yeah.
See, none of that does anything for me. But again, I come from a family of ugly feet. I was raised surrounded by ugly feet. I had ugly feet passed down to me. So nothing has ever been appealing about feet to me for my entire life.
Do you like when toes are painted?
Yes.
They have to be painted.
So, one gal has said on this topic, if I go out in public, I try not to wear open-toe shoes. I feel like people are going to look at my dogs. And, young people, once they get a slang term, man, they run with it. They run with it.
I haven't worn open-toe shoes in such a long time.
They don't want that kind of attention. This gal does not want that kind of attention.
Would you, Ashley, to like a wedding or something where you dressed up more?
I still wear closed heels.
You would? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Women are censoring or blurring out pictures of their bare feet on social media.
That's crazy.
With the hashtag #NoFreeFeet, implying that they will only sell pictures of their feet.
That's what I've heard people say, the no free foot pictures. Hey, none of that. You got to pay for this.
So,
what are you, a perv?
Is this all legit, or is it just another joke, another bit? I mean,
I think it's legit.
a couple of years ago, all young people wanted to talk about was whether they did or did not eat. I saw it spray painted on buildings. Usually they were in favor of, what's the term I can use to clean this up? Salad tossing.
Yeah, a lot of people do,
There's
too.
bumper stickers before it.
It's harder for me to find a guy that doesn't.
They made it seem like this was the most important sexual topic in the world for a couple of years. So is this all legit, or is it they're just shifting from ass to feet now and just creating this comedy? You think it's legit?
I think it's legit. I'm just from the women I'm friends with, they talk all the time about how unknown dudes will slide into their DMs on Twitter or Instagram and say, hey, I'll pay you for feet pics, or how about a feet pic? Why didn't you post
I'll buy your shoes or your
socks?
socks.
Or your pedicure. I'll pay for your like weekly, monthly, whatever is pedicure if you send me pictures of your feet.
I've been waiting for that.
You're saying you know multiple people who are involved in this one way or another?
Yeah.
Okay.
Haul ass cut grass. Jesus said his uncle will pay women $100 to kick him in the face because of his foot fetish. LOL.
I've only heard this spoken of once in my entire life. Once. I guess we run in different crowds. And it's funny that here we are in the middle of the state fair, because Josh might remember this. This is the only time I've ever encountered someone who was open about their foot fetishism. Is that how I say it? Okay.
Yeah.
Remember this guy that kept stopping by our booth at the state fair and asking our female promotions interns if he could photograph their feet?
Yeah.
No.
I thought it was a joke at first. I thought people were joking with me, but no, that was legit.
That's disgusting.
The girls were creeped out. They mentioned it to Josh and I, and we said, Josh and I were hanging out at the fair one day, and we said, well, okay, but we thought they were joking. And then maybe 20 minutes later, the guy stopped by again, and he asked me if I could somehow make this happen, and I said, absolutely not. You're not photographing anybody's anything.
Oh, thank God you guys were there.
Longtime listener and friend of the show, Rosalie, said guys do that all the time. They slip into her DMs, ask her for feet pics and what color her toes are painted.
Yeah, one person asked me one time what color my toes were painted, and I said like black, and they're like, oh, it would have been better if they were red, or like I would have gave you money if they were red. It's like, oh, okay.
So out of curiosity, why do you paint your nails if you never show them? Out of curiosity.
Because I am usually not wearing socks and shoes around the house.
Oh, for you?
For me, the boyfriend.
Gotcha.
So Wappel, you said some of your buddies have been admitting their lust for feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. Like how many of them? Like what kind of percentage are we talking about?
Oh, maybe like 4%.
4%.
Well, yeah.
You said it was like a lot of your buddies. Well, so you have that many buddies?
Yeah, I would say like 5 of them for sure. And I would consider that a lot of people for, I've known them for years. And then 5 of them are just out of nowhere like, yeah, I'm into feet.
Wappel.
If it was 5 buddies for me, that'd be 125% of my friends.
Wappel, was it you and like these 5 dudes in one room and they all like bonded over their feet love and you're just sitting there like, not me.
I love the way your brain works, Wappel, because most times when a percentage question is asked, folks go 25, 50, 75, or 100. He answers 4%.
Yeah. I do love you.
Around 3.9 or 3.
Accurate,
What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, you are a very literal person.
So where I was going with this is, your buddies, Wappel, have they mentioned that they've been masturbating on a website called WikiFeet? Did anyone say that out loud yet?
No.
WikiFeet?
No.
Okay, this is a website, according to this story, with thousands of feet pictures for major celebrities where you can rate their feet. Here's Megan Fox's feet. Here's Britney Spears' feet, and the Kardashians.
They have
and Maureen McCormick.
Feet of the day, feet of the week.
They do?
Happy birthday to these people's feet.
Oh, you're looking at it right now?
Wow, yeah.
There's a woman who was on a contestant on Survivor, and she'd been played multiple times, and then she was on again, and somebody posted a picture. You're living on an island, your feet are going to get pretty gnarly. And she tweeted the picture and said, this is going to kill my WikiFeet rating, and I hate it.
What the hell? Speaking of the Kardashians program, man, how many episodes of that show do you think they've made now, Josh? Thousands?
I don't know. It's been on for a real long time.
I bet you I've watched 2.7% of their total program.
Are you serious?
Yes, I have.
You did the math.
There's so many episodes.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, there you go. Man. All right, so we've been talking about feet. On the program, we've been talking about feet. Apparently, the young people are covering up their feet in public and online. This is people in their 20s. I should be more specific when I say young people. Covering up their feet in public and online because they don't want to be leered at by foot fetishists. Not for free, at least. They'll take a foot lover's money, but not for free. I wear socks wherever I go because the foot fetishists are everywhere, and I don't want them taking pictures of my feet. Seems a little strange. Got a text from Optical Jesus. And this is something. Okay. Because you know how fast this stuff can spread on social media. Maybe we should get this started. He says to me, let's start our own fetish. Hands.
Oh, I love hands.
Next thing you know, what's going to happen next? Everyone's going to be walking around town in July wearing mittens. Ashley, can I take a picture of your hands? I mean, would you go as far as to start wearing gloves?
No.
No.
I grew up with a hand model, and she would actually wear gloves quite a bit.
Oh, to protect them.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
To protect her assets.
So you'd see like a Dove soap commercial. Her hands would be the ones sudsing up and things like that.
You make good money for that.
I never asked her. Seemed kind of rude.
True.
A hand model. All right, let's keep going with this. Oh, on the topic of feet. Here are the most popular foot fantasies, is how they call it. Sniffing toes. Anybody find anything attractive about that?
No. Nah, not for me, I don't think. I mean, I've never tried it, but I'm not interested.
All right. And Wappel said you have buddies who are into feet. Dana, you said you have girlfriends who are selling pictures of their feet?
Yeah, they've sold pictures of their feet before.
Would they allow someone to pay them to sniff their toes?
I'd have to ask, but I wouldn't think so.
Wappel, would your buddies pay a woman to allow them to sniff her toes?
Yes.
So they've gotten a little specific. They're not saying, yeah, I'm into feet. They say, I would like to sniff feet.
Dude, I've seen it. I've seen one of the buddies lick a girl's toes during a softball tournament. So she just played 3 games of softball, all that dirt and sweat.
Now, was this like a dare or to be funny?
Right.
No.
Oh.
He was looking at her foot and he was like, wow, your foot is beautiful, and kept going on about it. And then someone dared him to lick the foot and he said, I don't need to. And then he put the foot in his mouth.
So it was a dare, but he gotcha.
He would have done it anyway. That was just his opening.
Yep.
Your friends would really pay a woman to sniff her toes?
Yes.
Would you take money, Ashley, from someone to sniff your toes?
No, that's too close and personal.
This person says, a buddy of mine's girl was selling a pair of shoes online, didn't fit her. A guy bought them, but before she shipped them, the guy told her he wanted her to wear them without socks for a period of time and then immediately ship them afterwards. I wouldn't expect that on Facebook Marketplace or wherever you're selling shoes.
Oh, wow. This is great. Our listeners are so on the ball, informative. Sorry, that was a massive heart palpitation that might kill me by 9:30 this morning.
Oh, good.
You were asking about how much money a hand model might make. Somebody was saying something about that. A listener, quicker than you can say Jack Robinson, sent me something from the internet, so it's got to be true. Hand model jobs are usually paid an average of $1,000 a day for TV work.
Whoa.
Between $2,000 and $5,000 a day for print campaigns.
Whoa.
Dude.
That's raking it in.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's easy.
So, Wappel, your buddy could go make, let's say you had a buddy who had beautiful hands. He could go make $1,000 as a hand model and trade half of that in to a woman to allow him to swallow her feet. You know what I mean?
And, maybe it could be like in the same building. They run a business together. The one does the feet, the other one does the hands.
Licking and sucking on toes is another foot fantasy. We sort of covered that. Foot massages.
I like a good foot massage.
You do?
Yeah, but the only person that's able to do it would be a significant other because, I don't like anybody else touching my feet.
Foot jobs.
What?
I think it's like a...
Yeah. What do you mean, what?
Oh, well, I was thinking the other way around.
I don't know what the other way
like
around
there was
means.
a hand on a foot, not like feet on a hand. I was like, what is that going to do?
That would be a massage.
Yeah, exactly.
Foot jobs. Those pop up once in a while, Cubby, when I'm looking over Wappel's shoulder and he's watching a porno movie.
They do. They're just like sprinkled in there, and you're just like, oh.
Or I should say, not watching a porno movie, but on a porno search engine, a porno website. Yeah, they throw those at us a lot. Maybe it's because, and it probably has to do with this newfound gimmick where everyone's pretending to be involved in.
It totally is, because it says when you search, it says here's the top trending videos like in the United States, and it's always the feet videos.
So
always
specifically foot jobs or just feet in general?
Yeah, it starts with that and then usually ends with a foot job.
Yeah.
I wish my workday ended with one.
I've never watched one of those videos. Again, I don't need to establish it again, but feet are just the least interesting part of the human body to me on anyone. But those videos do show up now and again.
I don't mind feet at all. I'm just kind of neutral on them. But I dated a girl once, and she admittedly had just the gnarliest feet ever. Beautiful, beautiful woman, but her feet from years of playing hockey and other sports, and she continued to play hockey while we were dating her, and just when she would come over, I'd be like, closed-toe shoes, closed-toe shoes, closed-toe shoes.
Oh, that bad.
It was pretty rough,
Did you make her like wash her feet when she came over?
No, I mean, but
you mean they smelled bad as
no,
well?
just like calluses and just all just kind of beat up like that from years of playing sports.
And there's a couple more here as far as foot fantasies. Maybe I should call them foot-related sexual acts is what I should call them. Using a foot for penetration.
Yeah, those videos are something else.
That sounds like a good way to get crotch rot.
Yeah, I've never seen those videos.
No,
How do you have
No.
athlete's foot back there?
I've just been like watching a regular video before, and it has like no precursor to what's about to go down. And next thing you know, there's a foot somewhere it's not supposed to be, and that will wreck your day.
That's scary.
Yes, it is.
God, they should have a warning.
I know.
And trampling.
Oh.
Where someone stands on your gear and smashes it into dust.
What's that stuff? Stomp porn with the high heels?
Is it
stomping on gen? Yeah, it's something like that.
I don't think I'd
Smash.
be able to do that to a man.
It's all the same. It's all the same. Smash, trample, stomp, whatever. But yes, some of it has to do with shoes. Some of it is more bare feet related. You wouldn't be able to do that to someone?
No, I don't think so.
No,
Unless
it takes
I hated them, but I just couldn't.
It takes a different type of person. I don't think most of us could stand on someone's genitalia while they scream for mercy.
No, I don't want to like ruin their chance to have children.
So there you go. Apparently this is the latest big thing in sex, I guess. And again, my personal opinion, I don't think that the number of people lusting after feet has grown or anything like that. I think it's just a matter of, like I said earlier, not accepting. It's, I think it's more just a trend.
I think
again,
it's
especially if we're dealing with young people, specifically, young people are all talking about foot fetish, and then we have increased hits on porn sites to foot-related movies. I think it's like the salad tossing craze of 2 years ago. It's just there's an interest in it, so it appears that it's more of a thing than it really is. I don't think there's been that big of a jump in the number of people lusting after feet.
Well, I think they've always been there. I just don't think that it's, like Wappel was saying, I don't think that it's been accepted at all.
Used to be more taboo.
They're coming out now, more or less.
Because guys like Quentin Tarantino are just completely open about it. He puts women's feet in all of his movies.
Gosh, yeah, it is weird, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I just keep hearing it as a joke, mostly.
Right.
But maybe there is something to it. I don't know.
I mean, I think the coming out for a foot fetishist was years ago. I mean, that's not, really, compare it to some of the other bizarre sexual interests. You're into feet? So what? That coming out party happened a long time ago. So I think it's just a matter of popularity.
So we're about to wrap up. I had mentioned I'd like to end every show from now on with a foot job, and I don't care which one you're from. I don't care. We can take turns.
Yeah,
we can take turns.
We'll give you a 5-way foot job. How about that?
We can rank it, stuff like that, see how it goes.
Post on 93x.com.
Congratulations to Rob starting a new job today. Wanted to say, hope things turn around for God Complex Jesus. Having a bad day so far. Hope that turns around quick for you. Happy 56 to Crack Inspector Jesus, and have a great Thursday.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals.